Hi, this is Faith, and you are watching The Faith Factor. Holla.
All right. What's up? What's up, everybody? This is Faith, the Faith Factor, and Commendable K coming at you with another one of our videos. How you doing? It is Thursday, January the 28th. It is 9:21 in Phoenix and 8:21 in Las Vegas. What's up, CK?
Hey, what's up? Nice new intro, new hotness.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I try. I do try.
Looking good, looking good.
All right, so we got quite a bit of a show for you today. We have an article that we want to start off with. This is a article that speaks on a well, you know what? I'm going to let CK tell you about it since he's the one that found the story.
Yes, it's a story of a manther, whereas a very older man who is involved with a much younger woman, 40-year age difference. We're going to lead off with that, and we got a couple of other things. So, without further ado, Faith, you ready to jump right on this?
Yeah, let's jump right on it.
All right, let's see. Hit you all with that. And right now we're going to go around the web. All right, first up in the shoot, story of a 62-year-old a wealthy real estate developer. And with him being wealthy, everybody, of course, considers him to be high value in these spaces. So Bill, a 62-year-old wealthy real estate developer, and Bree, a 23-year-old former restaurant hostess, claim that despite their different backgrounds and almost 40-year age difference, they have great communication and a healthy relationship. Healthy relationships, and quote unquote. The couple, who have been together for 4 years and are currently featured on the Lifetime television series Marrying Millions, admit that not everyone in their extended families wants to see them together. So the mom, the 23-year-old's Bree's mom, says, quote, Bill and I put up with each other, but I'm just more outspoken and he's more fake. And the reason why we're talking about this, because I know there's a lot of people who say that the best way that men these days can be prosperous and not have to deal with a headache or anything like that is if they get a much younger woman. So Bill, 62 years old, is with a 23-year-old. And here's what I hear. The only thing they really have in common, in my opinion, is his money. Because here's the thing. Bill, who's 62 years old, things that he's into, things that he's experienced, things that he wants, there's no way he can relate to 23-year-old Bree. And the mom is good to have the stance that if he makes her cry, she's coming after him. But I wouldn't be surprised if she was the one who pushed Bree into his direction. So the takeaway, or my takeaway for this, is that even though we want this high value man, high quality, we want someone who's going to be mature, do you right, the family and friends should still somewhat support this relationship, because it's not normal. So if you are going to level up, understand you're going to need a support system for the level up, simply because there's no way that someone that old can truly relate to someone that young. And Bree eventually is going to have needs that Bill is not going to be able to satisfy. And it says that they've been together for 4 years, which means Bill met Bree when she was 19. I wouldn't be surprised if the number was much lower than that. Just saying. Shout out to Shira71. So, Faith, you got anything on that?
Yeah, this is once again the whole sugar baby, sugar daddy scenario where the sugar baby managed to become the wife. Okay. And so now here we got this old guy. He thinks that he's got this trophy wife, bragging rights. Is worth it to him. I guess there's something going on, in the bedroom or something like that. But this sugar baby is doing her job, and 40-year difference, like Dee Rail said, in the words of Dee Rail, that is a job. Okay. So, don't think that you don't have to get in that bedroom and do a little workout, because these old men, they got Cialis, they got Viagra, they got testosterone therapy treatment. They really, really, really want you to get in that bedroom and work it out. So there ain't gonna be no more. I got a sugar daddy, but all I do is just a hand job, or we don't do nothing at all. They really, really want to get down in the trenches with you, so you're gonna have to work for it.
In the
And
trench.
oh yeah, down in the trenches.
Hey, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, but seriously though, so he's gonna be gone soon, and she's only in her 20s. So say for instance, she has to deal with getting down in them trenches for about maybe 18 to 20 more years.
Mm.
She'll be in her early 40s, like a lot of these female content creators, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's still relatively young in her early 40s. There's still women that look good in their early 40s. Only problem is, I think she's Caucasian, isn't she?
I don't have any pictures to go off of. So honestly, I don't know.
But I do know they age like milk. So her in her 40s is going to be the equivalent of us in our 70s.
Mm.
So
And
now
also,
she don't waste the majority of her youth with the old guy.
right.
Do you think that she really, really, really gonna give him all her time?
All her time, attention, and energy. No, she more than likely is there to secure the bag, because
Right.
a 23-year-old, that's kind of like the college age, and most people that age, they want to party. Well, the wealthy real estate developer, he may take her on boats, he may take her to fancy places, but she's going to want to party and really get down, and is more than likely he can't keep up with her. And then on the flip side of that, whenever engaging in this sugar baby, sugar daddy level up situation, you got to understand that the older man or older woman, or the manther, or the cougar, they don't see you as an equal. So don't be surprised when they pass away, you're not in the will. Don't be
Mhm.
surprised when they pass away, they leave everything to some other person, or their dog, or another animal, or some type of charity. They do stuff like that because all they see you, they see you as a tool.
A parasite.
A parasite, exactly. They see you as just an object for them to use, and you're eager to be used by them. Imagine, because sooner or later, and no offense towards her gender, but sooner or later she's going to be fussy, irritable, like all men and women are. And Bill is not going to be able to handle that. He's not going to want to handle that. So he's going to eventually get another Bree and another Bree. He's going to have all these Brees everywhere, because all he wants is the best part of a woman. He's not looking to go through the ups and downs, especially since if he really wanted to go through the ups and downs with someone as far as them being equal, he would have got someone on his level. So with Bree, she's really no more than an accessory. And as soon as she becomes human, or starts acting her age, and that mask comes off, the representative goes away, I wouldn't be surprised if he kicks her to the curb. And that's the reason why the mom had said, if he hurts her, she's coming for him. And notice is Bree's mom and not Bree's dad. That's another aspect
Mm.
there. I don't know if you. I'm a punt it to you, Faith. If you want to, I'm a punt it to you and let you go ahead and score it.
But yeah, of course, because Bree's dad isn't in the picture. If Bree's dad was in the picture, I don't think Bree would be married to a man 40 years older than her.
Exactly.
Unless he's one of these manosphere guys, because of course you let them tell it. They would rather their daughter be with somebody that got millions, even though he's 100 years older than her, because they want to, they have an agenda, and they want to just go ahead and keep their agenda alive, regardless to whether or not it hurts their daughter or not. But that's the manosphere.
Clown talk. Yeah.
Clown talk. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, that's it, And it's a lot to unpack with this. I know some people are going to be like, well, what's wrong with it? What's wrong with it? And you play the what if game. And when they start that clown talk, it's just best to just turn them off. So I don't really have anything more for this. You got anything else?
Well, just the simple fact of there's a lot of things that can go wrong with the situation. Like you said, even though he's married to her, uh, she, she's 22 years old. She can't know much about legalities, but he's much older than her, so he has an advantage. And that's why the mother is on top of it like she is, because she knows the daughter is young and inexperienced. So the mother is her only ally in the situation. So that's one aspect of why the mother is so involved. And another thing is that even though he can write a will in front of her, put her in the will, she can see him, drawing up and signing the will and all that type of stuff. Do you know that when her back is turned and nobody else is around, he could get together with his lawyer again behind her back and change the will?
Mm-hmm. Happens
That
all the
has been
time.
known to happen. Yes, yes.
Mhm.
And we don't know whether or not he has a prenup with her and what he decided to put in the prenup.
Yeah, because
And
she's
with her
young.
being young and thinking that, maybe she think $10,000 is a lot of money, and then he puts in the prenup, I give you 10,000. And she goes, wow, that's a lot of money. She only 22, 23. They young and dumb.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't know what is going on with that situation right there. Additionally, she is very replaceable, like CK said earlier. So while he's got her, he can have 2, 3 other sugar babies. That if she gets to acting up, he could just kick her to the curb and replace her with somebody else very easy and pay
Exactly.
out whatever.
Mm-hmm. And just kind of
So
want to
it's
address. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
yeah. So it's not just the point of the compatibility, but it's a very it can be a very lopsided situation when where
Right.
this person has this much power over your life, and your total well-being depends on this one person. It is a parasitic situation. CK, what is
Mm-hmm.
the definition of a parasite?
So we'll go with Google on this. So a parasite is a living thing that lives in or on another thing and gets food and sometimes shelter from it and usually cause harm to it. Number two, which is probably what we're talking about, a person who lives at the expense of another. So when I myself and including Faith use the term parasite, parasite is actually a definition that is used for people. And I'll read it
Mm-hmm.
again. A person who lives at the expense of another. So if
Thank
you're,
you.
yeah, so if you're like in a marriage with someone and you both are working together, household funds, you both are, helpmates, yin and yang. That's not a parasitical relationship. A parasitical relationship is what a lot of people in YouTube talk about. Well, really not just YouTube, but just the life in general, where they want to level up by someone else's hands. They want to meet a stranger, and that stranger pays all their bills, pays their debt, takes care of them, and almost quote unquote saves them, even with taking care of their kids and adopting their children. So you're looking for someone who wants to be rescued from their situation, which is but is living at the expense of another.
Bingo. So, ladies, if you are someone who had not leveled up yourself first, then basically you didn't put yourself first. You're sitting up here waiting on a Prince Charming to ride up on a horse and rescue you from your rotten, lazy, unambitious, dispassionate situation because you didn't put you first.
Exactly. And if it's all right, I want to kind of address something in the comment section. I wasn't trying to cut you off or anything.
No, I'm done. Go ahead. I'm actually ready to move to the next segment, but you can go ahead and address the clown talk.
Yeah, it's clown talk. So Michael Israel says all things go to her when he dies. She knows this. So not necessarily with a lawyer that can do a will, last will and testament, and also you can kind of finagle your finances. Like you can have an LLC that holds your assets, and you could put that LLC in someone else's name. There's a whole bunch of different things that people do with their money and their assets that you'd be surprised. And the idea is that, yeah, you might say, well, he probably cares about her. He loves her. He's 62 years old. He's been around the block. He knows the game. He knows that she's an accessory, and he and his lawyer and his accountant have already sat down. In my opinion, they've already sat down and figured out how to protect him if she goes rogue, or if she wants more than she's allowed to have. Because believe me, in a relationship like this, she's being controlled, whether she wants to admit it or not. And next one is she's the wife. It entitles her to certain things. It being, her being the wife, it entitles her to a ring and a title, and that's about it. So Faith, I don't know if you have anything before we move on.
Let's move on.
All right. Now we're going to the dark side of dating and beyond. All right, so for those of you all who didn't believe Faith when she told you, grown folks got to move out of mom and dad's house. So dad charged with killing daughter's boyfriend who snuck into her room. Yes, this happened. The Washington State father is accused of killing his daughter's boyfriend after finding the young man in her room. Charles Heller, 49, was charged with second-degree murder in the fatal 2019 shooting of 20-year-old Dustin Hunt. After he discovered his daughter, she's 20 as well, tried to sneak Dusty, tried to sneak the Dusty boyfriend into her Dusty room. The prosecutors said the 20-year-old Lauren, who's the daughter, and her boyfriend, they're both 20, snuck into the family's home earlier that day without her parents' knowledge. Both Charles, the dad, and the wife told cops they heard their daughter talking and laughing with someone. Heller then texted his daughter to say her guest needed to leave by 10:30 p.m., but she didn't respond and went outside as Hunt hid under the bed. When Lauren Heller went back inside, she said she saw her father pointing a gun at Hunt, and he was trying to get dressed, wearing only his underwear. Heller's finger was on the trigger the entire time he was pointing the weapon. Quote, this point was important to Lauren and played a large role in her fear because her father, formerly in the military, has training in handling firearms and had taught her that you do not put your finger in the trigger well unless you are prepared to shoot. Lauren, the daughter, then put herself between her boyfriend and the gun, telling her father to shoot her if he was going to open fire. Hunt then pushed the gun away from his girlfriend, causing her father to fall into a bed. Charles, the father, later told detectives he shot Hunt in the shoulder and told his wife to call the ambulance after putting the gun on a kitchen table. An autopsy determined Hunt died from a single gunshot wound to the chest. So that's the gist of it. So Faith, you wanna start go at bat first at this, or you want to take a swing first?
Okay, yeah, I want to take all kinds of swings at this. Okay, because me personally, I don't believe that the father should be charged with anything, and he shouldn't do not one day of time in jail. And here's the reason why. Okay, his 20-year-old daughter is living in his wife's house. They have what you call rules. The rule is the guests got to be out of there by 10:30. And I can also guess that another rule is, this is the rule in my house. My daughter stays with me. Ain't no fucking in the house. So of course, if dad is going to the room to check to see if the guest is gone and he finds a naked man under his daughter's bed, well, guess what he gonna think? Not only did you break my 10:30 rule, but you fucking in my house. Now somebody got to die. And I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. Let me tell you something about me. I'm gonna use myself as an example because I'm a parent.
Tell it.
If I pay majority of the bills in the house, actually all the bills, I'm gonna make all the rules. And number one, the only one fucking in the house, if anybody gonna be fucking, is me. I'm paying all the bills. I make all the rules. I'm the only one that gets to fuck in the house. Now, if you want to fuck, you're going to have to get a hotel or move the fuck out. You only got two options. But you ain't finna fuck in my house. I don't want to hear you moaning and groaning in the next room. And I'm paying all the bills. You ain't paying shit. These are my rules. In order for you to stay here, you're going to have to abide by these rules. This is why I say, when you grown and you want to walk around with the I'm grown attitude and you want to do things grown people do, you need to get your own shit. Don't be walking around my house acting like you finna run shit and do what the fuck you want. It ain't happening. But I'm gonna go ahead and relinquish the mic.
Yeah, notice that when the father went in, so just backing it up, when the daughter left, she left the room. At least we don't know if she left the house or what else she left, but she left the room. So when she left the room, and the fact that the boyfriend stayed in there, that's telling that I guess he planned on getting some. That's the reason why he stayed in his underwear and then got under the bed when he heard the father start to come into the room. And that's another thing. She was acting as if it was her house because she's, her guest is in her room and she feels comfortable to leave to go do whatever. Now, she may have went to the bathroom. She may have went downstairs. But if the father texts her, hey, have this person out, and then at the 10:30 p.m. and that time came and went, and she still got the guy in there, she's basically calling the father's bluff, and him going in there with a firearm, trying to figure out what's going on. I do think the father was, I think the father pretty much wanted to shoot someone. But I mean, it's his house, and if he wants to walk around with firearms, it is what it is. So Heller admitted to shooting Hunt and said he never thought about hitting him or using less lethal methods since he thought the 20-year-old was trying to choke him. That's another thing. The boyfriend was aggressive towards the father, as if it was the daughter in his house. And that kind of goes into when you have grown people in your home and they're disrespecting you, they're going to feel that they're just as entitled to your home as you are, even though you're paying all the bills and you're doing all the support and everything. So it's you really want to get rid of these grown adults, especially if they're showing signs of disrespect, because if not, you keep giving them inches, they're going to take a mile. So joining us on the panel is Nasty Man 2021. How are you? Welcome.
Yeah. Well, the daddy need to go to jail from. They're just trying to get their freak on. And I don't like how that woman talked about that they should have died. Mm-mm. They grown adults. The daddy should have got out the room and been respectful. But he didn't leave out the room. So the daddy wrong. The boy should still be alive. Black Lives Matter. And the white Becky should have still been with the black man. Rest in power, King. So I got to start off to say.
Okay, he's trolling. So Faith, you got anything for this story?
Yeah, I'm just the troll on the panel. What's up, troll?
How am I the troll?
Yeah, because you sitting up here. How the hell is this girl got more say over her parents' house than her parents? She ain't paying no bills. She ain't doing nothing but up there sucking and fucking and disobeying her parents' rules. Guest got to leave at 10:30. No fucking in the house.
Okay.
How the hell is the father at fault? The daughter is the one that got her boyfriend killed.
I guess we'll have to go by the rules. First off, okay, let's ask this question since y'all want to go on that premise. Yes, the dad deserves to go to jail. He fucked up. He was stupid. He came in there with a gun. He could have called the police. Did he call the police? Did he call the police? Yes or no?
Why would he have to call the police in his own house?
Well, hold up now. So he used the gun when he could have called the police. No matter how you want to try to play it, he had positive ID on site. Literally, the girl had already stepped between them. Once you put that in the story, and it already was confirmed that the daughter stepped between them, saying, "You'll have to kill."
Okay, but the boyfriend launched at the father. So hold on. If boyfriend launches at me and I got my gun ready, I'm gonna shoot. Ain't no questions, ain't no talking, ain't nothing.
Okay, well, no matter what, they're gonna always ask, "Did you try to contact the police?" If you really felt that threatening, you already had the gun and you already had eyes on him, and he's in his drawers. Like, why didn't you call the police?
Because there's an intruder in my house. He's an intruder.
He is an intruder.
Yes, he is. He's an intruder.
Right there, it can't be an intruder if you literally already knew he was in your house. If you knew he was in your house and you literally said, "Hey, he has to be out."
No, because I told her that he had to be out by 10:30. So if it's after 10:30, my thought is, shouldn't nobody be in here?
But
so now if I hear a noise after 10:30, I'm not expecting nobody to be here. I'm gonna get my gun and check it out. And if I check it out and I see a half-naked man lunging at me, I'm about to shoot his ass.
But you just went over the part where he told him, "Get out of my house." So that means if you confirmed and you're talking with the guy and you're also looking at your daughter and somehow you fell on your bed, no matter how you're playing, that means he actually saw the guy. And they're going to ask, like, at what point did your wife or you think to go get a gun? Or just literally go get the phone? Like, literally, I'm pretty sure there's cell phones in the house. And literally, the dude's already in his drawer. So you literally could have put a no trespass sign in there.
Okay, first of all, and then also, if this was a black man and that was a white girl, the white girl already knew her daddy was racist. And this Negro
where's the racist part? Where's the racist part?
No, I'm just going with the scenario that people down in the chat are talking about. Black man, white girl. Even if it was that scenario, the daughter still got the man killed because she knew her daddy was racist already. What if she was setting that Negro up? One way or another.
Now we're going with hypotheticals. Oh, here we go.
No. But let's deal with what is. He in that man's house. The man said no visitors after 10:30. 10:30 came and went. He heard noises in the daughter's room. He go in the room. There's a naked motherfucker on the floor lunging at him. I don't blame him for shooting.
You changed the story 3 to 4 times.
No, I didn't. I said the same thing. I said the same thing.
You just said naked man lunged at him.
CK, read the story again.
Oh goodness! I swear, boy, y'all added.
All right. So, I mean, before reading the story, this is basically the castle doctrine, where if you're defending your home, you know, calling the police, all that, you know, you could do that after you're safe. So if he has the right to walk around with his firearm, if it's licensed, he's walking around with it. You know, he goes into his daughter's room. When he sees his daughter is not, you know, left her room, and there's noise in her room. He goes in there to check. He sees a dude in there in his underwear underneath the bed. He points the firearm at him with the finger on the trigger wheel. The boyfriend gets up. The daughter comes in, gets in between them two. Then the boyfriend, quote, Hunt then pushed the gun away from his girlfriend, causing her father to fall onto a bed. Charles Heller later told detectives he shot Hunt in the shoulder and told his wife to call an ambulance after putting the gun on a kitchen table.
So if he hadn't never pushed the old man, he probably would still be alive.
Pushed the gun away from his girlfriend, no matter what.
But the girl jumped in the way, so she must have wanted some smoke too. Like I said, I don't blame the old man. That's his house.
Well, like I said, second-degree murder is intentional, and literally, no matter how you play it out, and I literally teach the course, and literally, I always ask these people because, like I said, they're going to ask you, like the law enforcement who come on the scene will ask you, like, did you ever think to call us? We literally could have came there. You could have stepped out of the room. You could have called us. So whatever you could try to say, castle doesn't even apply. But once you say, well, hold up, did y'all know this guy? Is there pictures? Do you have pictures of him? Yes, he's my boyfriend. Ma'am, do you know this guy? Yes, that's her boyfriend. So, excuse me, sir, do you know that's her boy? So y'all identified and y'all know who he is. You had a conversation with him, but you never thought to contact the police. Literally. And this same thing happened with domestic violence cases. Y'all two could be in a doggone argument. If that person walks out of the room and you go grab a gun and you point it at them, you might as well throw out, hey man, I felt threatened for my life, but you have the high ground. And this is why I watch a lot of people lose their life.
No, he does not live there. It
Doesn't
don't matter if they know him or not. He
Doesn't
has
matter.
no right to be there.
Okay.
And okay, because that is the law. And
No,
if
that's
he
not the
pushes the
law.
old man and shows any signs of aggression, the old man has a right to defend himself
That's not the law.
in his home.
That's
castle-
That is the law.
The castle doctrine allows you, this is from Google, allows you to establish a self-defense justification for using lethal force against an intruder in your home. In some states, your workplace and occupied vehicle are determined part of your castle. That is, you can use deadly force against intruders in those places as if they broke it into your home. So, of course, a court of law is going to have to, ask these, lawyers are going to have to go through as far as the nuances, the what ifs, did the father do this and do that? They charged him with second-degree murder. Hopefully we can get a follow-up and we can communicate that. But I think the takeaway, and that's what we're focused on, is that when you have adults who used to be children staying in the house they grew up in, they tend to disrespect the parents. And the disrespect came from the fact that the father texted that her guest needed to leave by 10:30 p.m. And
boom. Thank you, Mr. Thank you, CK. Text that the guest
right,
is leaving. That's acknowledging that somebody's in the house.
But it's not known that he knew exactly who the guest was.
Right.
Because according to the story, the daughter snuck the boyfriend in. So they knew a guest was there, but they didn't know who the guest was.
Listen, it doesn't work. No matter what you try to say, and I've taught plenty of these classes, and we went on plenty of these courses, and I can't tell you how many times I hear people try to use that type of
how about this, BMT? Fuck your course, okay? I'm gonna tell you what happened to me in real motherfucking life, because Faith and been through some things. I done lived some life. Okay, I was over on the west side of town in Chicago. Okay, there was a heifer that I had spotted coming out of the 7-Eleven, and she went up to a car that was familiar to me. It was my boyfriend's car. So, of course, me being who I am, I got out of my car to confront them. An argument ensued. I tried to walk away. I got in my car to leave. Lo and behold, who is running up to my car trying to bust out my headlights? The bitch. His bitch. The one that I caught him with. So what do you think Faith did? I'm going to give you three choices. A, Faith called the police. B, Faith backed the car up and tried to get away. C, Faith huddled down in the seat up in the front seat of her car and cried like a little bitch. Or D, Faith backed the car up and tried to run that bitch over.
Man, did you
Which
just
one?
say you used a
Which one
weapon?
do? Hold on. Which one do you think Faith did?
I hope to God it was take the car and maneuver away from the from that person, because you were the victim at the time. Please don't tell me you used a car to try to run over somebody.
Faith tried to run that bitch over.
Well, then you pretty much had a higher ground weapon, a car.
Hold on, BMT. Cause see, this is real life coming for your ass, right? Hold on. Let me finish telling you what actually happened. You know, Faith didn't do not one lick of time, and there was all types of bystanders standing around. Oh,
Okay.
niggas couldn't wait to tell on a black woman. In this situation, I mean, you niggas was out there snitching too.
Oh, those are niggas. Now they were niggas because they reported it.
Oh, hell yeah, they was reporting. Now, any other time when other shit go on, they don't want to, they don't see nothing.
Right.
But a black woman try to run somebody over because this bitch was at her car trying to tear her shit up. Oh, now niggas everywhere. Oh, she tried to kill the poor girl. She tried to run her down.
Wait. You're mad?
And hold on. And the police, they questioned everybody that was out there, and they all said the same thing. She walked away. She got in her car. The girl ran to her car and started busting out her headlights, and she backed up and tried to run her over. Do you know the police put the handcuffs on her and said, Miss, you have a right to defend yourself because your car is considered your home property. When somebody is trying to come up on you in your vehicle, you have the right to use your vehicle as a weapon in order to get away.
Can I ask a question? How does that relate to this story?
I don't know.
Because that
Because
is a different situation.
my vehicle was my home domicile, and I was protecting myself on my home turf. That's the reason why I was not taken to prison. And it was a bunch of niggas crying in tears because I drove away scot-free.
Okay, but that's a different situation entirely than what happened. Because I would like to say that there's a similar thing that happened in Houston about 2-3 years ago. Same scenario. The father found his daughter, I think daughter or stepdaughter, with a dude in the room. He blasted that dude to hell. He was charged with first-degree murder.
Yep.
In his own house. So that whole notion that that's your castle, your domain,
Was he convicted?
ain't gonna mean shit. Because the fact of it is, the daughter invited that guy in.
Was he convicted?
He's not at that point. He's not an intruder.
Was he convicted?
I'm gonna have to. I got to look it up to be sure.
See, people can be charged with stuff all day, and see, the prosecutor is the one that said that the daughter snuck the boyfriend in. So to the daughter, the boyfriend was not an intruder, but the parents did not know.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check. Let me check to be sure. But to say that father wouldn't get charged, I'm going to disagree with
that. Conviction, because prosecutors charge people with stuff all the time.
Well, that's fine.
Conviction.
Yeah, see, that's fine. And again, that's the thing about it. I don't think people understand the folks on how castle doctrine works. If there's multiple adults that are living in a home, they're collecting mail, or bringing up, well, that person don't pay bills. That don't matter a damn thing. Only thing we're trying to figure out, like, well, if y'all knowingly, if the adult parties knew that there was somebody in the home and they literally were via texting and communicating. There's somebody still here. Hell, I felt bad. If we, for all she knows, she could say, you know what? Yeah, my boyfriend came back to come get his phone or change his clothes. If she says she could say anything she wants, and literally the fact that no matter what happened in that room in them 4 minutes, hell, him seeing the boyfriend having eyes on him, he could have said, "Yo, I'm calling the police, and you better be off my property. You already have the gun. The guy's already butt naked, so it's not like he has some kind of shrinking of sword." So literally, the dude could have called the cop. The cops would have came there. Literally could have put in no trespassing. Boyfriend would have never been on the property ever again. If now the fact that like people like to say, "Well, I have a gun and this is my castle," and, you know, I felt threatened. That shit don't play out no more. Literally, hell, criminals have literally have been able to win their cases and say, "Hey, they still saw me. They still ran me down and shot me." He saw the boy. He talked to the guy. The girl literally stepped in. That's strike three and said, "You're gonna have to kill me too." And her saying that means she knew the father's intent. The wife knew the father's intent, and the father knew what he was doing in full conscious mind. He could have said, "You know what?" Mind you, military trained. They made sure they put that in the story. Military trained. So he had weaponry discipline. He could have literally said, "You know what? I need to actually step out of this shit and actually go home." He didn't want to do that. He knew what he was doing, so he needs to man up and take that L. He knew damn well what he did, and that's a battle, brother. So I can't let that slide. But see, that's gonna make other guys, other veterans look bad, saying that, well, he didn't know better. That's his doctrine. Well, then guess what? You can say, "Hey, if you want to play that game with your boyfriend, you get out with him too." He could have done that. He could have kicked her out too. When he kicked out the dude with the cop, you got to get out too. But you know what? He wants to use the gun. So he needs to be a man and hold that L. And he's going to have to sit his ass. Now he ain't in his own damn house. That's the price that comes. Hey, you want people to live in your house? Shit like that does happen. But he should have known better. Pulling that gun out, yo, hey, you better know what the hell you getting into. Everything. So he just took somebody's life he didn't have to kill. Like I said, I get it. The boyfriend and the girlfriend should have gone to a hotel. They should have. However, we're looking at right now, he used the gun. He used the gun. He needs to own up to that. It's just accountability. We talk about police need to be accountable. So guess what? The gun owner should have been accountable also. He had positive ID. You don't get out of this. Let his ass go to prison and sit his ass in there. Let him get convicted. Thank you.
Yeah, the attorney for Heller did not return a request for comment, so we don't know what kind of defense that they're going to use. They could use any defense in the book, but the takeaway is grown children staying in the nest usually brings trouble. So that kind of helps us segue into the next portion, which is, I mean, I don't know if Faith, you got anything else before we move on to going to
No,
distance?
I got nothing else. Like I said, if you're 20 years old, as BMT pointed out, if you want to bring guys to the crib or bring women to the crib, if you're a guy and your parents, and you know this is against your parents' rules, respect your parents, honor your parents. Don't do it. Go get a hotel or take your grown ass and get your own place. You do not run nothing in your parents' house, and your parents should not be made to feel like prisoners in their own home because you disrespectful as fuck.
Okay. Update on that. The father was not charged, but the family of the boyfriend did want to charge the daughter because apparently, she told the cops that
How
she
old is that
didn't know.
update? Because this was they were charged 2 years later. So how old is that?
That was in 2014.
Right.
So,
Yeah. This story, the update, because they weren't charged at first, but they went ahead and charged them because of the forensics came back. This is from January 27th of this year. So we'll just kind of close out the story. Everybody had an opinion. Great dialogue. Yeah. I think it's time to move on.
Yeah.
All right, next section for going the distance. 2 questions. When do you throw people away? And when do you throw family away and become happily single? So I'll start with this. Like the previous story with the 20-year-old daughter, she got in the way of the firearm, talking about shoot me. The father, whatever. If we agree with his choice or not, that's fine. But his house and this happened. So, in my opinion, kids got to get kicked out at 18, especially if they're unruly, because they will disrespect you in your house if you let them, or if you lay down the ground rules and they're not following it to the T. It's more than likely there's going to always be some type of friction. The friction might not lead to homicide, but it's going to be friction nonetheless. And even with family, if family is getting in your business, they're trying to tell you what to do. You're making different decisions, and they're trying to tell you that you're wrong, or using shaming language because you don't want to help someone. It may be time to throw everybody away, cancel them all, and be happily single. Less of a headache, and you won't have to worry about someone trying to control your movements and ultimately try to make you into a puppet. So, Faith, you got anything?
Yeah, I do agree. It's time. If your child is putting you in a situation where you're going to do jail time, you're going to lose your freedom. They're putting you in a situation where your life is at stake. Because a lot of times your children have affiliations out here with some shady characters. I've seen situations like that where the parents get caught up in the mass of the mess, because maybe you got a son that's out there willing and dealing in the streets. You're a mother that's out going to work, doing the best you can every day, and this is what they doing. The next thing you know, you wake up to somebody shooting up your house because this is what your child do. So yeah, there are times where you got to throw people away. Absolutely.
Yeah, I can't disagree more. Look, I had to throw my brother away. Two of them actually. Um, one was stealing out. Both one was stealing out the house constantly, um, to the point, and was bringing like drug paraphernalia to the house. We had to throw him out. Now my mother kept bringing him back in. She'll throw him out. Then 6 months, 8 months, maybe after jail time, she'll bring him back. Then you have to throw him out again because he can't leave the drugs alone. Now he's stealing stuff. You have to hide stuff. So yeah, there is a time to throw him away. My oldest brother, God rest his soul, he's long passed. But when my mother got sick, real sick, he took her to the hospital. Um, she had rent for the next 3 months, which was coming out of my student from loans that I was getting from school. It was just excess money. Took her to the hospital, took off with the car and the money. Never came back. Uh, so we literally had to borrow from the church. Um, so yeah, that definitely there's times where you got to throw family members, people. I mean, you got to throw them away because if they are a risk to your health, they're a risk. They're bringing ain't shit people around you, and they put your health at risk. Yeah, you got to get them up out of there. Yeah, I have no problem with it. But I also would say, if they're not being unruly and disrespectful, if you're going to have them be on their own, at least give them some skills. Let them learn some skills and stuff like that. Don't just throw them out there to the wolves with nothing. No skills, no nothing. At least let them, if they're not being unruly, help them get some skills, have them get some knowledge, so they can be by themselves. Because at the end of the day, they're going to be the ones that are going to take care of you as you get older. And you don't want to have a person who's angry or bitter because you threw them out and you left them with nothing. That could come back to bite you. That came back to bite my aunt. So
You can arrange for someone to take skills like cooking, cleaning, different like domestic skills. You can You could set up different services or classes for them to learn, or you could even try to teach them teach them yourselves. That takes place as far as like children between 0 to like 17, sometimes 18 years old. But as far as like throwing people out, sometimes you do have to kick people out because in life it's sink or swim. Unfortunately, if you give too much of a handout, it could almost be a hindrance because they're going to be relying and depending on you even when they're adulting, or even when they're adult and they're supposed to be adulting. So in my way, the way I look at it is like this. If someone or some people are not a benefit to you and they're continually draining your resources and draining your energy, they got to go. Doesn't matter who they are, because every relationship you have should be a reciprocal relationship. If they're taking from you, taking from your plate, that's less for you to have for yourself and whoever else you want to give to. There's a finite amount of money in everyone's bank account, no matter who you are. And as long as you have mouths to feed, whether they be your children, your family, your friends, as long as there's people around with mouths to feed, if they're under your care or in your home or in your life and they have their mouth open and they're wanting things from you, they're taking from you, and that's something you can't have for yourself. So the throwing away really should take place when it gets to a point where not only are they taking from you, but it hurts you and it's causing a harm in your life, especially when you're talking about someone being stressed or having to spend money that you weren't really planning on spending.
Right. And I also want to add, like, I've known, especially this is something that happens with Black women in the Black community a lot of times. We are the ones that end up taking care of all the children and all the sick people. Because I have aunts that have died before the people that they were taking care of, because the people that they were taking care of were younger than them. And they died literally working, trying to take care of other people that were actually younger than them. I got my aunt, she was taking care of my uncle, her brother. I think he was like maybe 7 or 8 years younger than her. And she died actually taking care of him. He never had a job. Never. So he went from his mama, and when their mama died, then my aunt inherited him. And mind you, wasn't nothing wrong with him, mentally or physically. The nigga just never worked. And every woman in the family he stayed with, he put a drain on them.
Can I ask a question, Faith? Just okay. Um, if this guy was being that much of a bum, where were the men at in to at least try to put a stop to this, or did they, or the women just overruled them?
No, no, the men didn't say anything. As a matter of fact, he was good friends with everybody. Everybody liked him. He was funny, charismatic. You know, he was the jokester of the family. He was the favorite at the picnic.
Sounds like
So
my
no, wasn't nobody trying to check him.
sound like my brother, actually. And I agree with you. That's a problem with black people and period. We tend the people that we like, we let them ride till the wheels fall off. But the people that they really need to help, the people that really need the help, if they don't like you, you're not their charismatic, you're not their favorite person, they leave you to the wolves. That and that shit bothers me to the high heavens. And you wonder why there are a lot of bitter people out here and they turn against you, turn against our people. Because our people have a bad habit of living ain't shit people. And I'm talking about men and women. Just ride on their coattails till the wheels fall off. But the people that really need the help, the people that could be a benefit, we just let them to the wolves. And when they turn against you, turn into a coon or a sellout, as these people try to say, you wonder why. That's, I mean, that example right there, that just, you know.
Anybody have anything else?
No, I don't have anything.
I don't have no words against that. I believe that, hold people accountable, give them a goal or a plan. Um, want to just fix some place for us? Just give people a goal or a plan, and say, hey, like you got so much time to get it right or get your stuff together. I feel like that's what a lot of people they they're afraid to speak their mind. I know that sounds awkward. Some people are afraid to speak their mind in their own home, or literally stand up, and say, "Hey, I don't like this." And the other person, there's predatory and there's prey behavior, and some people can only see that person as helpless or victim when they're actually the victim, and they'll keep on co-signing the abuse and going along with it. And so we see this happen a lot to a lot of women. We see this happen with elderly people. Um, I would probably say the men, not too much really. Depends on the type of guy. Well, actually, with men, when it comes to certain type of women, where they know that they're no good, but they'll keep still dealing with them. So I guess it falls back into the parasitic behavior. But it's all about having certain boundaries of, hey, like, okay, if you're going to be in my house or you're going to be here, either you're going to go get a job or you're going to go to school. And I'm also looking while you're going to school, I'm saying, like, there's got to be some limitations, like, because still bills are here, or I better see you making a certain type of grades. If you're not doing that, upholding your part of the deal, then it's possibly about time for you might need to go. And there's nothing wrong with that setting of goals. People don't set up goals. I'm a firm believer in that. I got somebody that's a relative right now. They're going to be here. First thing I did, like day 2, and I know I had to be the bad guy, but I said, listen, I love y'all, but we need to know what is the time length period going on, and what are we looking at? And, I see you already calling our friends and everything and saying, hey, I'm saying I'm over here at BMT's house. Really, girl? Really, man? Oh, y'all, hold on. I thought this is reconstruction of rebuilding my life. What happened to the dream board? Y'all already talking about partying. Okay. It's time for us to start looking at the options of what we need to start doing. But I want you to understand, come January 2022, be it hell or high water, you're out. I did my part. Now, if you do something that's more detrimental to me or my bills or my way of life, then we might need to talk about letting you go. But a lot of people need to start understanding everybody can't make it be, and there's no shame in that. Sometimes you might have said it like, grandma, mama, I know you love so and so, but now that you're getting sick, they're not helping. We have to remove that person away from you or it's going to get harmed. I've had to do that with my parents. I've had to do that with different people. And sometimes it hurts because you don't want to be the bad guy, but sometimes you're just seeing the play for what it is, or literally you're going to deal with the scrutiny because they're like, how can you do that? But literally, you're only keeping the blood bond strong. You're only keeping your legacy intact. And you got to understand, everybody doesn't want that. So we're going to be, especially going to be seeing that in 2021, especially with a lot of job losses, relationship breakdowns, different stuff. People are going to go into codependency mode. They can't get a man. I'm going to call up Grandma Faith. Grandma Faith, you know what? Me and my man didn't work, so I'm here. Grandma Faith now to be like, nah, nigga. Like, listen, either you got a job and I better not see you here when I come in the house. I better not even hear you. And that's how my mom was with me. If I'm home, I better not hear you. I don't even want to see you. I don't even know you exist. And I still had to pay $670 in rent. But she was taking the money the whole time, taking half of that money and saving it up for me to actually put down on a place to get out. I was a little bit upset that she was charging me, but she was also taking that money aside for me to get out the house. So sometimes you got to give them that nudge and also sometimes coach them and teach them how to get out. I agree with CK when he said that. Give them some classes on how to cook, how to clean. Maybe take them out, introduce them to some people to like nudge them, like take them to a job or two. You know what I'm saying? Give them the get like don't let them get comfortable. People let them get comfortable. So that's pretty much it. It happens. Like I said, I'm dealing with it right now. I love my family, but I also am gonna love them hard, and they gotta get the hell out. So I'm going through that right now.
All right. Anything else before we move on? Going once, going twice. Anybody? All right. Now we're moving on.
No, somebody said if your
Eh,
brother was
Is
drowning,
that
you would have helped.
Yeah, I'll address that during the Q&A
Okay.
and then later on. Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate it. All right, now moving on to the men versus women portion. All right, so on this YouTube streets, a lot of men have been, and women, if you want to consider women to be pygmies, have been rejoicing at the fact that someone leveled up and got hurt. So Chad Wheeler charged with felony assault and domestic attack case. The NFL lineman was arrested after a violent assault on a woman in his home. And so this is the picture of the victim. I believe it was his girlfriend. I don't know if they were married. So here's the picture. This you probably can't see that well, but this is her normally, and this is her after the assault. And so, you know, O'Shea covered this. I'm going to kind of quote him, but Chad Wheeler, an NFL offensive lineman who played 5 games with the Seattle Seahawks, is facing 3 criminal charges after his arrest last week on suspicion of felony domestic violence. So he was released from the Seahawks, meaning he was fired, soon after prosecutors formally charged him with first-degree domestic violent assault, a felony, domestic violence, unlawful imprisonment, a felony, and resisting arrest, a misdemeanor. And their charging papers, prosecutors said Wheeler viciously attacked the victim and choked her. So O'Shea Duke Jackson said that, and this is his opinion, is quoting him, that what it was
Shout out to
that
O'Shea.
okay, that Chad was trying to get his girlfriend to bow down to her, and she wouldn't bow down. And also, according to O'Shea, that it's his opinion that black men are more tolerable to the attitude of black women. And so the reason why this happened, according to O'Shea, is because he is not used to dealing with the attitude of black women. Welcome to Men versus Women. So who wants to go to bat first? Any takers?
I guess I guess when it comes to it, like dealing with black women, um, because to me, a lot of interracial things are kind of over fetishized, and they don't really know the intricacies of how other cultures or other people how they get down. And I guess you got to have there's a certain type of lingo. As far as it goes for black men and black women trying to make it bow down, I don't know. I think we just kind of tolerate each other, um, because we know each other's struggle on the other side. You only hear it on social media space, but hell, it's kind of the same thing for white people over there on their side of the fence. Uh, I think he probably thought he was a white man with money, and that this black woman was just grateful to probably want to kiss his ass or lick his boot, and she wasn't for that. And so, guess what? Because she wasn't going to listen or bowed out, and it's not unusual because we've heard of a lot of NFL players who have been abusive to their spouses and think that because they have money that the NFL will turn a blind eye, but that didn't happen. She survived, and literally now, I think he should be hit with the full extent of the law, and that more NFL players or more people who think that they got money, that they can't be touched, that they can put their hand on people, that they get their asses handed to them. So yeah, it's a man and woman thing. That's why you hear so much about submission. And if you have money, they need to shut up and bow down. Money doesn't always work on controlling people. It doesn't always work like that. Like some people, you can have money, that don't mean they're going to respect you, or the other way around. So, yeah.
I agree, and not all money is good money. With this whole thing, what O'Shea stated, and I absolutely adore O'Shea. That's my guy. He's my man, 20 grand. But I would have to disagree with O'Shea as far as him saying that black men are more. Well, what was the word that he used? CK.
For black women,
No, he was saying something about black men were more
patient.
patient. Yeah, he said patient. I don't think in this case it really applies because we have so many cases where that's not the case. Okay, we have so many cases where you have black men simply getting mad at black women they don't even know because they're just rejecting them. Okay, how many times we have to go down the line of black men that have hurt black women pretty bad over simple rejection. So I don't think that's the case at all. And to compare this woman's situation with this rich white man and make it seem as if, hey, this is something that all sisters are going to experience with non-black men is disingenuous because first of all, this is only 2%. You're literally talking about the 2% of black women that even get with these type of men. Not every black woman is dealing with a white man that's high value, high payout, high caliber like this on a regular basis. But I do know that we are dealing with our own men on a regular basis more so than anything. And I'm not saying that all black men do this, but on a regular and more consistent basis, we're more likely to experience domestic abuse from our own. We're not dealing with them like that. As you all say, they don't want us like that.
But also I want to add to that as far as it would go, that believe it or not, black people, or especially amongst ourselves, more so if it's like your own people, you have a better chance of them keeping it in the house about the abuse. If that makes any sense. Like if it's a black on black type of thing, that's kind of more so going to stay kind of more so in the house for the most part. And we've seen that happen a lot on a lot of black couples. Same thing like with white people, we know that they be beating each other behind. Like, but when it comes to the interracial portion, uh, I think that leaks out because like, soon as you hear something about somebody's a drunk or drugs or anything like that, that comes out quickly. They don't even waste time with them kind of things, especially when it comes to like the high value talking point. Like look at Tyrese and his girl, or look at this right here. Like these kind of abusive things, they drop out real quick. Nick Cannon and Mariah Carey and all this stuff. Most time interracial or like foreign couples, they dime each other out faster than if it was like a brother speak or Faith or CK and another black and a black woman, they'll dime each other out. They'll that'll be more so in house where you'll hear the songs like I should have left him, or like I mean we would have never known about the Jay-Z incident if there had not been a camera. Like they walked out of that goddamn um, elevator like ain't shit happened, but they were just in there fighting. Hell, the security guard even played it off. I know he got a nice pension paid for that. Like so, black people will hide abuse and not say anything. So the media narrative and I think that's one of the biggest issues is we know of abuse. So black women will tolerate black men physically, while black men will tolerate black women psychologically. I think that's a pretty big thing that we don't like to discuss.
Yeah, I have to agree with BMT. black men tend to tolerate more for black women emotionally than other groups of men. I know Faith tends to think that we don't. I know she listens to a lot of YouTubers and think that that's all black men. No, the truth of the matter is we accept a lot more bullshit off of black women than any other race of men would accept because that is our women. Part of it is that guilt. Part of it is that's who we that's our first love is black women. So yeah, you got some yahoos who say they don't want to deal with black women. Yes, you got some yahoos that are gonna beat on black women. Yeah, we know all those. But the majority of black men, they take a lot of shit off of black women emotionally and sometimes physically. Because my brother got stabbed by his own girlfriend and was still dealing with her after that. So to say that we don't take stuff off of black women is false. We take a lot more than you think. And and just because a certain group of yahoos don't, that's not the majority.
So rating
Oh,
woman. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to respond. No, I don't believe that all black men. That's the reason why when I made my statement and see when you guys are listening to me, you don't listen to everything that I say. You only hear what you want to hear. I said right at the beginning of my statement, no, I do not think that this is all black men. I said, but we are dealing with the 2% here when we're talking about this white boy, this rich white boy, and this black woman. By numbers, black women are more abused by our own men. Black women are more abused by our own men, whether it be reported or unreported. That's just the reality. So when you say that black men are more patient with black women, I have to disagree. That it's about half and half. Some of you are, and some of you aren't. A lot of you are, and a lot of you aren't. We got some of you that say you love black women, but when you're in the presence of black men that are talking bad against black women, you don't say anything, but you love black women. We got black men that say we love our sisters, but when you see your sister in trouble, getting jumped on, thrown in dumpsters, hit with skateboards, you don't even call the police, let alone step in. But you patient, you take a lot of shit off black women, and you love black women. And I'll just leave that at that.
Mhm. Okay. My counter to that is you see another black man who's having trouble getting his kids from another black woman. Nobody tends to do anything about it. He's the first one to get blamed if there's any relationship problems. He's the first one to get blamed. Even now, there's men who saying that because of a lot of the stuff in the community that's going wrong, the men is the first one to get blamed. Why are you not like these men? Why are they not protecting black women? Even though you have a bunch of black men who do protect black women, it's still not considered enough. So again, that's why I'm saying that a lot more than just half and half. I would say probably 75% deal with black women, regardless of how they feel about them or not. They tend to tolerate them more than any other race of men. They just going they're going to do that. Mostly because that's all they can get. Partially is because that's what they desire. I know this interracial thing is big, but let's keep it facts. There's only a small number of black men who's going to even deal with other races of women. They're going to deal with black women no matter what. They're going to complain about black women. They're going to whine, but they still are going to deal with black women, even with the bad attitudes, even when they're saying that we ain't shit. They still going to deal with them. That's just the way it is. And it's not going to be like half and half. It's going to be the majority. That's all.
And there's always going to be the majority of black women that can't pride themselves away from black men either, no matter how abusive and disrespectful they are, and how unreciprocated the loyalty is. And that's all I got to say.
Hi, Faith. And
Hey,
panel.
who we got on the panel?
Sweet Lady 095.
What's up, sweet lady? Welcome to the
Hey,
show. Welcome to the show.
thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I wanted to chime in. I just wanted to say that I have to agree with you, especially like when it comes to like black men that are, who say that they love black women, but they just sit back and watch the bashing of black women, right? So like, the men that bash black women, they seem to have the loudest voices. They're all over social media, they're all over, YouTube, whatever. While the other men, they're just quiet. And I'm like, are they just like laughing about it, or are they okay with it? Because then they complain when black women start to bash them. But it's like, I don't see how they would think that black women wouldn't have an issue with it, because if you don't say anything, then that must mean like you condone it. And you can liken it to like racism, right? Like if a person is speaking up about racism, then you say, okay, then you must be okay with it. So that's like the same situation in that instance. And also I want to speak about what Bro Speak said about like, as far as like not stepping in when a black man is like trying to see his children. um Many times black men won't like utilize the court system for whatever reason to see their kids, and it's there for them. I remember when I did like an internship at the courthouse, and I would tell them, I would go to the guys, tell them, look, you have a right to see your child. You should come back and do this. I would give them the information, how they can do it. They never did. They would never come back. So I feel like a lot of times black men want to complain and say that no one's helping them, but really they don't want to take those steps. It's like a lot of times they want their hands held, and we're supposed to just do everything for them. But you have to be proactive yourself. All I can do is, tell you how to do it, but you're going to have to proceed with the process. And the last thing what I wanted to say was, as far as like the abuse goes, and saying that, well, black women, I mean, like men can't take like black women's mouths or whatever, and black men will deal with it. I just wanted to make note that, abuse has nothing to do with that. Like most of the time, a man that abuses someone has something to do with himself. It's not the woman that's causing the abuse. It's because, most of the time they lack self-esteem. They just want to control something in their lives because the rest of their lives is out of control. So they just use that, no matter what the woman does, she's going to be abused by him, for the smallest thing. So I just wanted to make note of that, because I think like, kind of missing the point that abusive people are doing it because that's just who they are at the core of themselves.
Outstanding, outstanding. CK, you have anything?
Yeah, I kind of wanted to so Rating Woman says, was that her first comment? Abuse has more to do with control more than anything, and being a high income earner doesn't make you exempt from wanting to have that kind of control. When I used to be a sexual assault investigator, we were trained, and it kind of was proven that abuse, including sexual assault, is about control. And with someone trying to control you, there is going to be a progression. It's not going to start out with what we see or what we saw as far as the woman's injuries, and that is everything that she suffered from. But it usually starts off with maybe yelling in someone's face, throwing something in their direction, punching the wall. It always progresses. And then one day it's this. So we have to see the signs and know when to turn away and even leave something like this, including throwing someone away and starting over from scratch. Because if you don't, it's all the roads usually lead to this. And you could tell by how someone talks to you. They may talk down to you. They may be abusive in their language. They may try to separate you from your family and friends. Every time you're on the phone, they're always like trying to, argue with you when you're on the phone with your mom or something. They're trying to say little comments and remarks in the background to kind of get you to get off the phone and and basically indirectly cut off communication with your family and friends. All these controlling mechanisms, they're signs, and it could seem like this person really cares about me. They're being cute. They are being loving. They're being playful. But these small little aggressions can lead up to something horrific like this woman experienced and became a victim. So when we have these conversations, adding different elements in like child support and access to women and all those other things, that kind of deflects and dilutes the takeaway, which is to get help ASAP or remove yourself from a situation that doesn't feel right or makes you feel bad. That should be the main takeaway. And let's see, I think I saw. So as far as I mean, me personally, I know I kind of quoted O'Shea with the black men being more patient. I mean, me personally, I think each man should be taken individually. I don't think race is necessarily a factor. There have been a lot of things in the news with the skateboards and throwing people in dumpsters, which is horrific. I think it boils down to you want to pick the best person possible. And when you start to see little signs that this person is against you or not for you, it's best to leave and err on the side of caution versus risking. And then you may end up risking and losing your life.
I think that there's where there's smoke, there's fire. There can't be this many news articles where you actually have black men, just like the black man that got killed by police. He was running across people's backyards, and then when you go to his Facebook, he's saying all this derogatory stuff about black women, dark women bring dark times, or something that he was saying. And then you have instances where you have black men, doing violence towards black women, numerous instances. Where there's smoke, there's fire. So I don't think that it is wise for us to sweep any of these things under the rug, especially when we keep getting presented with it over and over and over again. There is something to it. There is something going on with black men as to how they feel about black women on a massive level. It is an epidemic now. I mean, is it safe to say that the hatred of black women, black men's hatred towards black women, is becoming an epidemic? Is it safe for us to acknowledge that?
I don't want to say all that. Like, that'd be kind of reaching, because then you would have to ask, like, where's it stemming from? Because we would have to ask if it's where's it stemming from, because we're gonna ask, like, where is it learned behavior? Because if you're receiving love from a certain person or group, then why would you hate that? That's the question I would have to ask. Like, if I was raised and reared by a woman, then why would I hate a woman? So that to me would be like, well, damn, like, what's going at the manufacturer factory? Because if I'm raised by that, then I would love what I'm raised by. But we're
Well,
seeing the
just
opposite.
let me answer that real quickly, because just like you had this young man in young Manhattan, and he shot his mother in the back of the head because she simply asked him to get a job. And the uncle came on and he was explaining what a sweet woman she was. Okay,
Was he?
so
Was she?
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
well, we can only go by what the uncle said, right? So
Well,
according to the uncle, I'm going to assume she was a sweet lady. because we don't have any other proof that she wasn't, right?
Well, the
See,
fact that the son put a bullet in the back of her head kind of diffuses that.
nah,
I mean,
To be honest.
he was 21 years old. You know.
And,
all right.
and
So
he
we
still
got to we're starting to get in the clown. We're starting to get in the clown talk because saying the what ifs, was she good or bad? The fact is that she. I mean, the fact that she's a victim, why, thinking that, okay, who raised someone, shouldn't they love them? And the fact that she shot in the back of the head or shot period, was it her fault? The answer is she's a victim. That's the takeaway. Trying to get into the semantics and the what if just to kind of diffuse or somewhat dilute what Faith has said shouldn't really be the path that we should go on. So me personally, I would err on the side of caution that, yeah, it's open season on Black women. So if you're a Black woman, watch your back, because if you're approached, we're at war. If you're approached by someone or some people and they're aggressive to you, you're not going to care about the history. You're not going to care about a history lesson, because if they're ready to take your life, they're ready to take your life. Let the historians worry about systems and history and whether someone's good or bad. All that stuff's irrelevant, because point blank period, if you're hit upside the head with a skateboard, you're not thinking what he ate for breakfast or the price of tea in China. Now, I mean to cut you off, brother speak, but we don't need the message. We don't need a message getting out there as to trying to focus on things that's outside the scope of the fact that if a woman's attacked, and lots of occurrences of women are being attacked are coming on the news, women are being attacked, and that's where we draw the line in preparing just in case someone brings an offense against us.
Okay, but
the only thing I would caution is saying that is Black men hating Black women and they're having a war, because this is not all Black men doing this. And on the other hand, I've seen a lot of Black women who have a hatred towards Black men too. Am I going to say it's all Black women also?
But where are the videos? Where are the news reportings of Black women just attacking Black men randomly?
well, wait, hold up. That right there. How often do Black men report being abused by a woman?
Who's going to report? What Black men report?
Well, hold on.
Women getting attacked?
Wait. Let's look at the facts.
Okay, if you wanna go
let's
that
look at
route.
the facts. Let's look at the facts. Okay. Now the lady that was attacked at the liquor store didn't report it. Somebody called the police. It was shown on camera.
I mean, but how many times have you guys witnessed a random man walking down the street and a group of women attacked him? I mean, let's be honest here. That doesn't occur.
Oh, there were some videos on a certain YouTuber's channel. He's been I don't know how he does it, but he's been able to get them videos out there. And
you can go on World Star Hip Hop and see that.
How come we don't know nothing about it? Right. We don't know anything about them videos.
Oh, we don't.
How many people care when a man get attacked? How many care when a Black man get attacked?
And I'm not.
I want to ask that question first to anybody. How many times when a Black man get attacked? At any time, do people give a fuck?
But it's not happening on that level. So you guys are playing semantics.
I'm saying, do
You're
people
making
give
it
a
seem
fuck?
like it's happening on the same level. Is it happening on the same level as Black men attacking Black? No,
we don't know.
Either it's happening or it's not happening. Either it's happening or it's not happening.
Hold on. I think the thing about it is, and this is why
it is happening.
Hang on, brother. Speak. I think this is the thing why I pinpointed that is that, and I always, like I told a friend of mine when we were watching this one boy getting cursed out by his mama. I said, watch. Sooner or later, that boy's gonna get bigger.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna figure out his strength, and all that slapping him in the face, and all that calling him you ain't shit. That anger is gonna go back on somebody, and it's either gonna be in the household, it's gonna be out there. That was always an angry kid that used to always be fighting teachers and stuff. And so I always tell people, be careful of
Wow,
the
you know,
Well, again,
can we
black men are
keep
blaming
and,
black
moving the
women
and
for their
can
goalposts?
problems. Like,
wait,
you
wait,
guys
what was
what
the
get
goalpost
therapy.
goalposts
move?
that
Get therapy.
What
happens?
what was the goalpost
You
being moved?
asking where are these hatred for women
Yeah,
coming
yeah,
from?
okay.
Ask that question.
Where
How
are the
many times
news
have you seen a
stories?
mother
Where are the
cussing out their
news
own kid?
stories of black
That's it.
women assaulting black men because we have been rejected or we didn't get what we want?
You're
Wait,
not
There,
but
in it.
Tupac,
there
You're
hold on,
not.
wait, now
actually
Tupac,
you wanna. There's
hold on,
actually two reports of black women after the man rejected them, trying to burn down his house and kill him.
What's the
That was
news story,
recent.
sir? Can you please provide the news story, sir?
Right,
You
please.
I can reply. I'll go look for it because
like
that
I
was
said, I
reported.
mean,
This
hey, like I
happened.
said, hey, people
So
want to carry it, it's fine. Like I said, we can easily pull up the dude. I forgot the actor when he talked about being sexually abused. You know what I'm saying? We saw how it was. The black community didn't take it serious when he talked about he was sexually abused.
Okay, but let
and
me
they
ask you something. Do you, as a black man, feel unsafe when you walk down the street in a black neighborhood? When you see a group of black women together, do you feel unsafe? Do you feel like you got to cross the road to get away from them? Or when you're walking down the street by yourself and you see a black woman walking behind you, do you feel afraid like she gonna do something to you?
Well, if a black woman is following me in on a dark street,
Right,
do I
because
feel
see, you
afraid?
all are saying that black women are attacking black men at the same rate that black men are attacking black women. So
Oh,
you should be afraid and you should be looking over your shoulder every time you see
I
a
do.
black woman cross
I
your path.
actually,
you
I'm glad you brought that up. Actually, there are stories I was watching on True Life TV where there have been black women that actually followed a black man, used that, and actually called her friends. And they came up and they shot him and robbed him. And literally, that woman's mama and them were trying to say, "Hey, she didn't know that they were going to do that. Sorry, but that's called a
Oh,
look
okay,
back."
but see, that's how unprevalent something like that is
that's
because he
not
wasn't even
What?
expecting.
what
Yeah,
you
he
mean
wasn't expecting it. He
unprevalent.
said he
It's
didn't know that that
happening.
was going to
But
happen.
you asked, but you
And,
asked,
and here's how
you
that
asked
goes.
it, and I just
And
gave
guess
it to you.
what? Nobody gives a fuck.
Who was her friend? You said her friend. She called a man, a woman. Who is this friend? Like you
Well,
said, she called a friend.
she called her guy friends and
Okay.
them.
Okay.
But that means that hold up, that means that she was the instrument being used.
Well,
Okay,
let
I'm not.
let.
I'm not
but
saying
that's
it's.
other
I'm not
black
saying that
men
she's not.
praying.
I'm not saying that
That's
the
other
guy.
black men using a black woman to
But
prey
Right.
on other black men.
How you mean
Exactly.
she's using it? She's
You guys are
using
mixing
them
it
to
up.
prey on another black man.
what?
What? Oh no, no. I
Why is it
promise
that
you.
the woman
I
gonna get a
promise you.
benefit of the doubt? She's setting a dude up to get beat up by other dudes, but we're gonna give the woman
I
a benefit
promise
of
you
the
that
doubt?
she is not the
Are you
kingpin
giving
of
her a
that
benefit of the
operation.
doubt?
I
Exactly.
promise you
That's
that
part of the
she is not.
problem.
Exactly.
She is a
We want to
decoy.
treat
She
women
is not
like
the
they're
All
kingpin.
innocent
right, one at a
victims. They're
time.
not
One at a
innocent
time. We
victims.
can't hear
Some of these
everybody. One
women
at
are
a time.
horrible, and y'all just want to treat them like innocent victims, like a
Wow,
man, angry Batman
y'all
all the
really be
time.
looking over y'all shoulder every day when you leave the
Hey,
house,
you know what?
scared that a
No,
black
Hey,
people
woman
walk
is
around
gonna
before
hey,
get
you
you.
leave
I
your
look
house
over
with
my
Well,
shoulder for
with
hold up.
everybody,
confidence.
I
man,
don't think
woman, child, everybody.
You guys
I
are
think.
Because
answering
I
the
don't
question.
trust none of y'all.
I was
What
answering the direct question. As
what is
you
the?
as men, when you see a group of women, do you cross the street or are you afraid? That was the actual question.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I guess we're talking about America, because overseas, I ain't gonna walk through a group of women. They probably get me blown up. But I probably say here in America, yeah, I can go walk through a group of women. I don't mind doing that. I don't mind doing that. I guess I
But is
Yeah,
it
never feel
fear?
especially if you see a bunch of fat booties. So please spare me the whole you shit shaking and shivering.
right. And I also can walk through a group of men, black men, and I don't be fearful either. So
But
I'm the
you're
right
not a
one for that
woman. You
one.
don't have the same
Oh, now
like.
I got to be a woman
It's,
now. I thought
Uh,
it just didn't matter. Now
no.
I got to be a woman.
Yeah, see
So
how
now,
Right,
they go.
right,
oh
because
my god.
we're
okay,
comparing this to men versus women.
okay,
See,
Right.
as
okay.
a woman, if I see a group of black men on the corner, yes, I am hesitant. I
Do you
will cross over the
do
street.
you feel safe when you see a group of white men? Do you say, "Man, I might need to cross over"? I say, "You know what? I feel
Hmm.
safe. I can walk right through those men too."
But the men that I deal with on a regular basis are
Okay,
not white
but
men.
that's
Okay,
the
okay.
question. The question
Okay,
is,
I'll be honest
do
with you.
you?
If you walk by a group of black men, they're more likely to say something to you or whatever. You walk by a group of white men, they're not going to do anything. They're not going to say anything.
Cat,
Thank you.
And that,
Thank
cat.
you.
and that's part
Boy,
of
I just heard some cat right there, boy.
and that's
Thank
So
you.
part
y'all
of the
That's not
saying the
problem.
cap.
white
That's not
man,
cap.
he
Because I know
just
some
so
white men,
nice.
they will catcall y'all too.
Shit, I
And
don't know what white men y'all be talking to, but
shit.
last time I checked, they
oh,
literally Me
oh
Too wasn't
Lord.
made for no black men. Me Too was made about white men and their sexual deviancy behavior. So we're not gonna pretend that the white men ain't doing this, and all of a sudden they don't go on their nice little girl gone wild trip and do the capping. Like literally, you
I,
just get
I
But
them
you're
to.
have
talking about
yet
this.
I have
You're
yet
talking about
to
something totally
experience
different.
that.
You're talking about
Oh, I
something
can see.
totally different. It's different if you're going on
Okay.
vacation and they're doing that. I'm talking about walking down the street on your normal day. If I'm walking down the street in an area, like I live in a mixed area, so I'm walking by a group of white men. They're not gonna do anything. They're not gonna say anything to me. But it was black guys. They're going to say something. That's just what it is. It's maybe part of our culture, but it's true. Like white
Okay,
men
but
don't really do that.
I'm just saying. Okay, so I'm just saying, Miss Sweet Lady, and I don't know that many black women that are walking around in like the trailer park or in like an Italian neighborhood or Jewish neighborhood. Like I don't know that many black women walking around in those type of boroughs or communities and walking through those kind of groups. I mean,
Well, I'm
depending
telling
on
you
the
that
type of
I do
people.
it. I'm telling you that I'm a black woman that do.
You walk through the trailer parks.
Not the trailer blocks, but I walk in a white communities.
Okay, no, not a suburb. I'm talking about a low income
Oh,
community.
okay.
See that? Let's make sure we clean it up. But listen. I live in a nice community, and I go to the parks where they have the little sun May Day parades and stuff with white people. I don't feel no threat. I'm talking about you got to. I'm talking about go through a nice little Florida trailer park meth lab like community, and then tell me what you like going through there with the Confederacy flags flying, and then we can have that talk. I've been there for them type of bus. So I'm telling you right now, ain't no black people walking up in there and then saying, "Well, I walked out untouched." No, we're not doing that. But I can understand, and I'm not gonna ignore that black women are walking through like gang bangers and say, "Hey, I walked through, but I didn't get bothered." Hell, even black men don't feel comfortable like that. So I understand that about the difference of strength and power. I'm looking at, hey, where's the hatred coming from? Where this learned? It's a learned behavior. This is a learned behavior. If I grew up with love for women, because I was raised by a woman, then I'm trying to figure out where did I learn to hate a black woman. That's where my initial thing was. That was seem like it was jumped over. That literally, hey, if I was raised by a single mother, which I was raised by a single mother, and I've been abused before, but I don't really have to be on here, and I was down that path of bashing on black women, but I said it ain't everybody, but I want to know what's the reciprocation, because I literally asked a fair question. Hey, where's the learned behavior? Just like black women who are abandoned by their daddies and they have men's issues. See, there's different issues on both sides of the pole. Black women have trust issues on how to deal with a proper man. Black men have mommy issues or female issues that they're still dealing with. That's the intricacies of what this war is spiraling from. So if you keep on trying to look at, well, yeah, of course the women are going to have higher statistics. There are more black women than there are black men. More black women normally come out about their abuse than a black man who probably could be sexually abused. Granted, there was a man raped by two women in a car, in a taxi cab. He came out and talked about he was raped and abused. Granted, yes, I know that's a small increment. However, in him doing that, he was laughed and ridiculed, and the police did not take it seriously. They didn't take it seriously. So wait, you're telling me a black man mostly came out about being sexually abused. They didn't take it seriously. What does that say to other black men that say, "Yo, what's the point of me coming out? This guy came out." Or literally, how many men have literally been drunk or intoxicated and still had sex, not knowingly knowing that, hey, I was taken advantage of? Most guys, especially in the society that we're raised in, literally cannot see or be perceived, especially as black men looked up as predators, cannot be looked at as a victim because of social structures that are set up. A black woman has an easier time of getting that card because of the social limelight of abuse that has happened throughout Jim Crow. Black men don't get that card. We get the
Yeah.
social predator card that literally that is set forth. So when we talk about mental health or abuse or victimization, nobody cares about that. So when the man finally lashes out and does it, and I'm saying that's right, that's a problem. So we can't overlook that. I'm not. That's why we're asking a fair question. Where is it stemming from? That like I said, where is it stemming from? I'm looking at these kids and I'm watching how they're getting treated with the little girls not having their daddies and the boys how their mamas talk to them saying you ain't shit. All right, cool. Smack me in the face all you want. Tupac said it best. Even though you's a crack fiend, mama, you still a queen, mama. That was Tupac.
Well,
Literally
I
wrote
think it's
about that.
coming from social media. I mean, like, those kids are like really impressionable. Like they're really influenced by whatever's going on. This all started, of course, years ago, with social media bashing Black women. And now you have like the kids, participating in it as well. And they get on their little TikToks, make videos about Black girls saying Black girls are not great, white girls are this and that. This is all fueling it. This is the fueling the disrespect for Black women. And it's all like just following each other. That's what it's that mentality. So that's growing the hatred for Black women. So this all started off of social media, with these He-Man, hater clubs that's going on throughout. That's what's going on. That's why I was saying that the so-called good men, they're not speaking up. They're not saying anything. They're being really quiet and letting these other guys have a loud voice. So that's why I'm saying that Black men are to blame for all of this situation, because if they would speak up against those men with the loud voice, we wouldn't have young boys following it. Kids are followers. They just, follow what's going on. The
That is a
trends.
stretch. That is a stretch. But we're
Well,
focused.
can
We're
I respond to that right quick?
hold up.
Um,
We're focused on where stuff is coming from. When it doesn't matter where it came from, it's here. See, the definition of war is a state of conflict between different groups within a nation or a state. So if Black women who are on the panel, Faith fell off, are saying that they are afraid for their lives and people they're talking to feel like it's open season on Black women, then that's what they feel. We as men can't tell them what they feel or try to create or try to bring up a story of men being attacked to somewhat justify why the women shouldn't feel the way they feel.
Okay.
Because where it came from as far as a history lesson, that sounds good, it sounds sexy, but the fact is when someone gets hit upside the head with a skateboard, why he did that doesn't matter. He did it. That's why I say it's almost like open season and we're at war.
So what if we pull out and mind you, I got plenty of paperwork and documents of a woman pulling a gun in front of a man saying, "You cheated on me. I should blow your brains out," and everybody's there laughing, saying,
But they
"Ha
know
ha
each
ha."
other. These are strangers.
Wow, you say they know each other?
what difference does it
Wow,
make?
Think
that
about
Because
was
it.
your
if the
response.
woman pulled
They
a
know
gun
each
out on
other.
a guy
You
and
said
everybody's
he pulled
laughing
a
at it,
gun.
it's fun, and that's funny.
You said
That
you said
that,
she,
And
that
you
was
wonder why
they
these
know
dudes
each
are
other.
angry.
you said
You
you
think
said
that's funny?
you said she pulled it. I didn't say it was funny. I said they must know each other. If she pulls a gun out and says you cheated on me, how can he cheat on her if they don't know each other?
Right.
I don't
If you
care
pull a
what
gun,
if they know each other.
How
It's
keep
just the
are
going.
fact that a
strangers?
woman think it's cool to
So
pull a
hold on,
gun out
wait.
on a man.
No
Period.
one's saying that it's cool. It's just that
But hold on,
But you're saying that that's a justification for it. That's not
no.
justification for
that's
any
not a
of
We're
that.
talking about
I
apples and
don't care if
oranges.
she know him or not. It's not
Exactly. It's apples and
justification.
Hold up.
oranges.
Women on the panel are talking about strangers, not men they know.
Right.
Strangers. Let's not do apples and oranges.
holy
Because
crap, boy. So
but
wait,
again,
But
now
don't
abuse.
blame it
Abuse
all
is
on
still
black
abuse.
men. On the whole black men for a
No,
group of
no one's
dudes
no one's
and
blaming
on the
no one's
that's
blaming the
what she
entire
just
race.
said. It's black men's fault.
If a
She
black
just said
man
that. Is it all black men's fault? And matter of fact,
no
I
one
tell you
said
what,
all.
it's even worse. There are men who have been protesting against black men beating up black women. And you know who will support those men that beating up these women? Black women.
now crazy. Now,
And
now
black women
hold on.
in
Now,
their family, if their girlfriends, and they will give them pussy just because they doing that shit.
now, brother, speak. Did I not just do a story earlier talking about a black man literally formed something in Harlem to protect black women and minorities? Did I not just do a story on that?
Yes, you just
Now,
did.
I would. Now, the question is, you would think more black people, mainly there's more women or Black Lives Matter, whoever groups, would be getting part of or joining up with that black man to actually join up in that coalition. That's see right there. We talking about we don't see what black men are doing. There's a bunch of black men out there right now doing it. There's black men in Detroit, 300 men. I mean, there's a lot of men protection groups and militias and stuff being formed. But like I said, yo, if you're not part of it, if you're not even trying to help out with it, I mean, like I said, they don't. It's not up to them to run out there and play Cape Crusader for every woman. Like, yo, let whoever want to be out there, let them be out there. Just like if the men want to be out there, let them fall victim. I get. That's why I said
I'm just
community
saying,
is.
if men stepped up, black
Men
men
are
stepped up,
stepping up. No,
they would think
nobody
twice.
support
They would
them.
think twice before, attacking a random woman. That's a random woman that they
Every
attacked.
woman or every woman or just their women.
They attacked a random woman. Like they would think twice if men stepped up and said, "Hey, we're not going to allow this in our community." They would think twice before doing so.
They've been doing it. Nobody support them.
That is true.
The women don't support them. The men don't support them. So if you really want that to happen, I'm gonna say this: support those men. Support those men in Harlem. Support the men that was actually going out trying to protect black women. Stop sleeping with ain't shit niggas. Stop supporting ain't shit niggas. Stop supporting the ones in your family. Stop supporting the ones that you desire. If you want to stop this, that's what you're going to have to do. Until y'all do that, till women do that, you're going to have a lot more men going out attacking women because they feel that they can.
The women that men are sleeping with is irrelevant if a bunch of guys.
I'm not talking about just men that they're sleeping with. I'm talking about their brothers, their cousins, family members doing the same shit, and they're supporting them, letting them stay at their house instead of turning them in. And the women that's sleeping with them too.
It's great that they're
all that is happening. All that contributes to it. I'm sorry.
It's great that there's groups out there that we can support those groups. That's great. That's outstanding. And I know you're saying,
but women are.
Hold on. Let me get this thought out. It's great that there's groups out there. Outstanding. However, who women are sleeping with doesn't really change the fact that some men put their mouth on a woman's eye because she turns them down. See, what you ought to understand is you guys are moving the goalposts to these groups and don't sleep with these men or these women. It's black men stand up. There would be no issue. It doesn't matter about all these other things when a black woman's alone and she's dealing with black men and they attack her.
I think. Okay, so that's fair. So I think the thing about it, would it be fair to say a woman is going? Do people morally attack things that they're more so have an advantage over? Right. Correct, right? And I'm gonna just say, like, honestly, because shout out to the person in my room right here. They're like, well, if I was a woman, I'm not gonna attack a grown man. I'm gonna attack a child or an elderly person. They can't fight me back like a man can. That makes more sense. Like, woman's not gonna really go try to fight we ain't gonna find no really stories of women attacking men like that. They're gonna attack kids and other women. They're gonna attack what they can actually go after. That's just.
But they aren't doing that, sir. They aren't doing that.
Wait, women aren't attacking kids? What? You know how many daycare stories we can pull up?
Women are walking up to random kids and attacking them. They're walking up to random. No, they're not.
Yeah.
You guys are making that up.
Okay.
Shit, I don't know about that one. I think we can definitely find those stories.
Yeah.
We can definitely pull out them. We can definitely pull out those stories.
If a woman walked up to random kids and attacked them, they will be in jail, sir.
No, they won't.
No, they wouldn't.
No, they wouldn't.
You can't
attack
random children on the street.
No, they wouldn't.
Daycare owner. I mean, a daycare intern literally took a kid down into the basement and hung the kid and got probation. Little boy literally stole goddamn a watch. Got 5 years. Like, no, I don't hear nothing about doggone all of a sudden that I could pull up from this. Listen. You pick your target. Women aren't just fighting men. I agree. The women are not fighting the men. They go after easier, softer targets. Go after the kids. Go after the elderly.
I think we're getting off the beaten path that Faith laid out. That a lot of black women are crossing the street where they see a group of black men. So kind of jumping to the people women do attack. They may attack, may not attack. There are people getting attacked all the time. The issue is there a war? Is open season on black women? And out of all the examples that are being laid out, the women that were on the panel were not convinced of that, and they are the ones who are women. And then you also have someone you have a Rare Gem that's been agreeing. She's in the chat, and also Raining Woman.
Of course they are. They're women.
Of course they're going to agree. Of course they're going to agree with that.
They're women, and we're not. That's the point.
I'm not trying to agree. The men, we don't agree with them. So that didn't prove nothing because as us men, we're like, yo, we
can't invalidate their belief, even if it's talk. We can't invalidate their belief just because we're men and they're not.
Well, that's fine. They can listen. Y'all have the right to believe in whatever you as women. That is your right in this country to believe whatever you want to believe. You have that right.
To believe what? What is it that women believe?
That you have the right to believe.
All these black men are at war with you.
You have the right. You have the right to believe that. But just like, and I also have the right to believe, just like Brother Speak, that literally I've heard enough black women say, if you touch me, I'm getting my cousin, I'm getting my uncle, I'm getting my people, and they're gonna come fuck you up. Wait, where the hell did you get to call Thundercats in? So wait, you can call in a group of men to beat my ass? Damn right. Put your hands on me. And I've heard that many times in my life.
I think you guys are missing it. Like, we're not talking about women in your life. We're talking about random people.
That you got random women will do that too.
If a woman can live
what part you not understanding?
That's a random thing. That's random. If somebody in the club can literally say, if you touch me or you look at me or you got a problem, I'm gonna get my cousin to mess you up. Literally, that's kind of random. That means she can literally to hurt you Faith. That doesn't even know you.
Oh, okay. You guys can hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's random. If somebody, if a person can literally don't even know you, but literally get somebody else, shout out. And I did that on O'Shea's panel before. I literally talked about a woman that literally cut me off, got out the car, and tried to get another man who did not even know me to try to fight me. That is bonkers. That means she literally had another man about to fight me. She didn't know if I was about to pull up my strap. I could have shot them both dead. But literally, I said, yo, old dude, do you really want to do this? The old dude was like, man, like, you see me, you got me out here fighting? That's crazy. She was literally going to have another dude that did not know me fight me. That's a total stranger. That's something that's realistic that happens to a lot of men. A lot of men are in jail or in the grave for fighting for a cause, for a woman. Women get
but
other
you
men.
said you got out your car as well. You got out of your car, right? So you were being aggressive, right? Towards
Wait,
this
I'm
woman.
aggressive. How am I aggressive?
You were.
Wait a second. Did you not hear the whole story that woman called another man to come fight another man that he don't know? What part of that do you not? What part of that did y'all miss?
Wait, hold on a second. Why did she call somebody to fight DMT?
But she cut me off. Well, actually, I didn't say nothing about her being aggressive. She cut me off and literally got out her car and was cursing me out. And I literally said, yo, you cut me the fuck off. Watch your mouth, bitch. And literally, she called a man. The man came out of nowhere and literally was like, yo, what's good? She's like,
okay, so she cut you off and you got out your car and you were cursing at her?
Well, did you not hear she was cursing me out first?
Okay, but when you got out your car, you do understand how a woman would feel about that, because if I cut you off, the mere fact that you a man is getting out of your car to address me,
so she had enough balls to cuss him out, even though that is still a man.
Right, I'm still cuss you out, but I'm a call my man too.
Okay,
because because we both got mouths, we can both cuss each other out. But my man gonna handle you with
the
them
woman
fists.
has license to do whatever. But if he come at her,
what I'm saying is he got out his car and cursed her out first. He was the aggressor. Yes.
When she's the aggressor, she's a victim.
No. He got out his car and he approached her. Hold on.
She's a victim now because she
any
caused the
woman
problem.
in that situation
In that
would have done the
situation,
same thing.
who was the
Yes.
aggressor first?
Yes.
Her or
Okay,
BMT?
okay, hold on.
Her or BMT? Who was the
Let's
aggressor?
ask
Who
the
cut?
lady.
Who
Let's
cut
ask
who
the lady.
off?
Let's
Who
ask the
cut
lady.
who off? And who went to cuss him out because she cut him
Wait a minute.
off?
CK, am I a co-host on here or am I just another commenter?
You are the co-host. So
So
yeah.
don't talk over me, bitches. Shut the fuck up and let me speak.
Okay, but you up here.
Okay, hold on a
saying that
second. I'm not
I'm
done.
asking you,
But you know what? Mute his ass. No, what I'm saying is this. See, I don't have to. I really don't want to have to scream over you motherfuckers today. Okay? What I'm saying is, if BMT got his ass out the car, being a man, and I'm a woman, and you're coming out the car aggressive, yelling at me, yeah, I'm gonna cuss you out and I'm gonna call my man.
And I
And
should have
any
smoked him right
woman,
there, huh?
hold on a second. And if he would have smoked you, it would have been touche, but y'all both men doing it. But there's nothing that I, as a woman, can do with you. That's the reason why she called her man.
Okay. All right. Like I said, hey, I played the game long enough. When the old dude saw me and he looked at me, and I looked at him, I said, "Yo, however you play this out, dog, y'all both ain't walking. I'm just letting you know that." He definitely understood the level of power. He definitely figured that shit out very quickly. Like I said, if I really wanted to be gassed up, and I saw her twice, so if I really wanted to be greasy, I would have got really greasy. See, some people don't understand their level on the food chain. He figured that out real quick. So guess what? He got right back in that car real quick.
Hold on a second. If anybody has a wrench down there, time Michael Israel out to oblivion. Because another thing
Y'all
we're
gotta
not going to do,
chill.
you're
Y'all
not
gotta
going
chill
to
down
sit
there,
up
man.
here and call me masculine either on my channel. Now you can go and get the hell on down the road and go to a feminine channel if that's what you're looking for.
I'm glad you said that, Faith. So just want to give a heads up. So as far as the panel, yes, you're not going to talk over the co-host. We've been nice, but that's not going to happen. This is not your channel. If it's not your channel, you must be respectful. Let the one of the co-hosts, myself and Faith, get the entire thought out, because being here is you are here at the pleasure of us. This is not an entitlement. It's a privilege. So please don't be, please don't disrespect and try to over talk. If you want to get your point out, you feel like you're not being heard, you have your own channel, you can make your own video. And as far as people in the chat, yeah, Michael, you've been twerking. You've been allowed to twerk. You're going to be addressed on the question and answer. But if you continue to be disrespectful, you'll be blocked. And you have to come again. And you can come again tomorrow when I do my clown talk, and we can talk then. So does anybody have any questions on the panel? Because we got to go.
I find it funny how asking for respect is masculine. Like, you're not supposed to.
Hold on, sweet lady. Does anybody have any questions before we get to continue?
Nah. It's
I do have a question.
Okay, go ahead, Neil.
We got to talk. All right.
Is everybody there?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. Hello, everybody on the panel. You guys know me. I got a question to ask because I still haven't heard anybody really get to the meat of the question. I've heard everybody kind of drift off into la la land about the subject matter. Subject matter was a white man hit a black woman. Am I not correct?
Well,
and then we get into the war between black men and black women. How? Where are we getting our facts from when it comes to this war that we're so-called in?
There's
not at war with each other. How are we at war?
There's definitely a conflict. And that
conflict of interest, yeah.
No. So if someone hits, all right, if there's a whole bunch of stories of black men attacking black women, and there's black women who are on the panel and in the chat room saying that they're afraid and they feel like it's open season on black women, that's how they feel.
No, I see a desperate media corporation putting out more information so they can get more views because more people are getting their information from YouTube rather than the news outlets. And now it seems like we are at war with each other because of the information we're being spoon-fed and accepting as fact. I haven't heard one iota of actual fact being presented. Not once.
The stories are the facts. The story.
Yeah, I know the stories. I understand what the stories are, but first off, if somebody is biting somebody else's face in the hood, and I'm just wondering how many hood people are here. How many people grew up in the streets? Since when is biting someone's face modus operandi in the hood?
That is true. He actually brought up a good point. There's not a lot of people biting people's faces.
You're talking about one of many stories.
That's just one. Yeah, that's very correct. I'm just saying.
There's like over 100 different stories. That's the point.
I don't know that many people that bite people's faces in the hood. I've been there quite a while. I don't know that many people.
I don't get it.
Do y'all want to hear the stories about the guys in Harlem? I mean, in Crowd Heights, the 21 guys that jumped on the black girl, or the guys that hit the black girl in the head with a skateboard, or the black girl that got through
but those are like that's almost like a year and some change apart. Like those are like it's like you're accumulating.
Actually, those stories are months apart from each other.
Exactly.
Okay,
months apart.
Okay, so y'all want to pull out that, and I get what he's saying. Like they're putting out those stories of that, but again. And no matter what, like men, like, and there's even a guy in the chat that said literally, even though his woman was doing abusive stuff in the house, he still stayed with her. Like,
but hold on, BMT. Let me ask you something. How is it that you all will sit up here when it's black men attacking black women, and it seems to be on a regular basis where the stories are months apart from each other, but then when
everybody is attacking black women. Let me finish.
Let me finish. But then when there are stories of white cops shooting black men, you guys don't never say, "Oh, that's a once in a lifetime thing." You know, it's media propaganda. You guys want to take that story and run with it. The evil albinoid, these white men are the black men are under attack in the United States. All of a sudden it's an epidemic when it's you, but when it's black women, this is a once in a, it's not all black men. The black women are just blowing this out of proportion. It's not all of us. This is not nothing to see here.
So are you asking me that question? Are you asking me, the BMT? You're asking me, BMT, that question? Because you know I can pull up my receipt of all my stuff.
Yes, BMT, please answer the question.
So BMT was the one who talked about the girl. BMT was also the one that brought up about the militia, and also about BMT was also about the one bringing up the program, literally protect black women as well as the elderly. I was doing all these talking points before a lot of people broke these stories. I actually go over places where people can go to go get the proper information as well as the structure for actually going to get financial, economical power. So when I literally go over these things, do I hear people kind of run up in my chat and say, "Hey, well, we're still being attacked"? Nah, I actually go over solution basis and stuff like this. I don't just go on the victim stuff. I don't just talk about white men or killing black men. I talk about everything. So I actually run through all the bases of all the stories. I can pull up my resume. I don't.
Okay, and when you're running through all the bases of all the stories, do you have a plethora of black men flocking to your channel to blame black women for everything?
Yep.
And be honest about it, because you know I've been to your channel.
Yep, and I have a plethora of black women on my panel that be talking also. Just like I had a plethora of black women on my panel that were running my panel. Brother, did I not? How many times did brother black women, as of just last week and the week before that, were running my panel?
But I didn't ask you about the black women. I asked you about the brothers for a reason. I asked you about the black men because, see, you want to tell me about how you report on the stories, but when you report on these stories, how many black men come flocking to your channel to sit up here and dog out black women and blame everything on black women?
Not a lot. Not at all.
Be honest, because I have seen your panels.
Not a lot.
I've seen your chat room.
It's not a lot. It's actually the same guys. David, J.I.
You are lying. You are lying.
How often does David come up there? It's the same guys that come up there almost every time.
You're exactly the same guys that sit up here and cry and bellyache about black women 24/7.
And
So
how
name
many
it.
of
So
them
They
did
not
that?
sitting up there talking to you about protecting black women. Let's be
okay.
honest.
So wait. So we're not gonna pretend that Brother Speak hasn't come up there to talk about protecting. D the Rel,
Because see,
Information Man.
whenever
Hold on. You
whenever
say I
CK
can
come
name.
on my
So wait, I'm
channel
giving them.
and
You
he
won't listen.
talk about protecting black women and that black men need to get together and form a coalition, it'd be more black men flocking over here with excuses.
So wait. So wait, I am actually giving you names of dudes who have come up on my panel.
I've
Civil Mike,
seen
Brother
your
Speak.
panels. I have seen your panels,
So
BMT. You
really, when
cannot
the last
sit
time?
here and gaslight me.
Oh,
I watch
really?
your stuff all the time, BMT. I
You
see the
sure?
same usual suspects in there crying,
So
belly aching. It's all black women fault. Let's go ahead
yeah,
and get the what's the petition that they had, CK?
The
so
The
that's literally
abortion,
Ji. That's the same
right,
guy
the
that I'm gonna say.
financial abortion, and how many
abortion,
black men was behind the financial abortion?
a lot.
Actually, it's only like 200 something.
Okay, so let's not be
200 is a
disingenuous.
lot.
Okay,
That's
it,
not
there's not
200
a
something.
compared
lot
to
of
the
black
bunch that
men sitting
200
up
and
here
something.
forming coalitions to protect their community and their neighborhoods. And
Wow.
it's way
even
more.
earlier, wait a minute, even earlier in your example, you kind of contradicted yourself. Because out of
Really?
one side of your mouth, you said some black man in Harlem was forming a coalition of black men to protect the community in Harlem, but he couldn't hardly get anybody on board with him. But then out the same side of your neck, you also said, oh, yeah, but because this one black man was forming this coalition, that there are a lot of black men on board. But if there was a lot of black men on board, BMT, why is it that you said that he was having a hard time getting them on board? It can't be both.
Well, actually, hold up. So first of all, let's clap at that. So first off, when me and Brother Speak actually Bobby said, listen, where are the black women out there that y'all are saying? The sweet lady made a comment about that. Where are the black women out there supporting him? And also, I said, where's Black Lives Matter? I know I just said that, as well as other bigger black groups supporting this black man, Afiz Ahmad. Where are they to actually support him? Literally, that video right there was over a K views. And literally, I went over there and literally when they were saying, "Hey, this is why you do this feminism," no, I actually talked about that and brought that up. That there are black men out there. There actually is a Detroit militia group run by younger black men that literally out there patrolling their black community, just like the Detroit 300 are forming their own coalition. I can bring up these names and these easy things. And actually, Ji literally he actually has been over there multiple times, just like David. And I can name the same dudes who come back there every time. Just like I can name the same women who come up there, just like I can name the majority of the same people who are in my chat for the most part. Like I just had it not too long ago where black people were bitching and complaining that I had white people in my chat, which I have a good majority of white people in my chat that literally are talking about solving issues. So I'm sorry that literally I talk about solving issues and literally I stop caring about Negro little squandering problems because I actually go at the facts on things. So I'm not sure when the last time y'all been there at my panel because literally Ji hasn't been up there in a long time since the argument about who sets the table, which Brother Speak was up there for that. And oh, that was run by a black Afro Latino woman. BMT has been leading the panels for a while and actually been letting other people run the panel and letting women run the panel as that. So when y'all say BMT, are you just letting the men
BMT,
just
you
sit?
is sitting
Yeah,
up here
you definitely
lying,
tried it.
just
You
outright being
definitely tried it.
disingenuous.
You definitely
I
tried it.
promise
I told
you,
you not to let
I promise you, I've been to your panel on numerous occasions,
Nah.
and the
When the last
goons
time
were
you been
out
on my
there,
panel?
and all they want to do is blame black women for
You,
everything
you,
that's wrong
Okay.
under the sun.
when the
Please,
And
last
you
time,
you
but
and you have men
You got to
that's counting those
you spent
guys
check as
5
too.
well.
seconds of your YouTube career talking about you got black men over there that's doing great and all this type of stuff, but you know good and damn well you cater to
super
them damn niggas in the manosphere
wait,
majority of the time.
I
Please,
cater to the men of the
please,
manosphere.
He don't
yes,
Wait,
cater to them.
I
Come on,
cater to the men
absolutely.
of the
Every
manosphere.
chance you
come
get,
on,
you
Paige.
over there.
Come
Yes,
on,
I
Paige.
cater, yo,
yes,
you really capping high
mm-hmm,
face. You
absolutely. All the
Come on,
time,
Paige.
all
You
wow,
listen
day,
to
you
Rude
every
capping
day,
Am.
high
Come
face.
on now.
24/7.
Rude
You
Am.
trying to stand in my
You
channel
listen to
now?
Rude Am.
Yo, she definitely doing the cape now. Yo, the cape is flapping hard. You say I cater to the men of the manosphere?
Yes, yes, you do. Yes, you do.
I guess it's the topics.
I
The
promise
topics.
you. I promise you. If you go to BMT channel, BMT will be talking about one thing one day. Then the next thing you know, he'll be at Teapot channel. Like, yeah, y'all right. Yeah. We gonna stand strong on this. These bitches, this and bitches that you know you be doing that shit. You know you be doing that shit.
I literally was talking about the LGBTQ today. In deep in the manosphere, I wasn't talking about black men, but I was came to the manosphere. Wait, hold on, let me get another one. So I literally did one about women getting guns, and literally, and that was called I was supporting feminism.
That was the one side of your face. The other side of your face do something else after that.
Let's keep on going down. So wait, I literally just had a show. Kevin Samuels in Red Pill Black Men is the end result of women being attacked by.
But then you'll end up on Reg the bad guy saying the entire opposite. I promise you, PMT. You be doing that shit. I promise you.
So you calling out Reg the bad guy? When literally me, the
No, I'm saying that you do this. But I said you will be over on Reg the bad guy channel saying something totally different.
So hold on.
I'm telling you, you got two sides of your mouth be flapping. On the one side, I am a proponent for black women. When you get over there with them niggas, fuck them bitches. And BMT, you know you be doing that.
BMT, so you saying BMT does that?
And that's the curse of being balanced.
Yeah, that's the curse of being balanced.
That's the curse of being balanced.
You can't have it all. You gotta.
No, you cannot. That's the curse of being balanced.
No balance, man. I can't speak up. Anytime I shit, I was just called a liberal and a whole goddamn rhino today, and I was a supporter of gay rights and literally supporter of women not too long. God damn it, boy, you just can't win. Especially not in this space.
No, BT. You know you can't win. You can't win for losing.
I'm gonna find a swirling white and Chinese couple and bring them on my. I will find them soon. And so I got all I need is SYSBN.
All right, I think we kind of got in the way from Chad Wheeler. Like we got really far away.
Shit, that left the barn a long time ago.
Yeah, so we're 2 hours.
Can I get my opinion on that just right quick?
Chad Wheeler?
Yeah. Well, what can you say? I mean, white dude felt entitled. He thought that he could control this black woman. Oops. He learned the hard way. No, that's not going to happen.
Where are you getting that from? Where are you getting that from?
Well, from what I said, O'Shea was doing, said that he thought that he was trying to buy.
Are you quoting O'Shea, Duke to Jack? Shout
out to the man here. I thought we were just shout out to the man O'Shea, the GOAT.
Are you quoting O'Shea?
Yeah, I'm quoting what O'Shea was saying. If that's what was really what's the mind, but regardless, it's sad that this dude beating on this woman. And yeah, I mean, I hope they do him like Ray Rice. That's all I can say. I hope they do him like Ray Rice. That's all I can say.
Yeah, but we know that's not going to happen, though. That is where the problem is.
And that's the sad part of that.
Anybody have anything else for Chad Wheeler?
I think somebody poked a hole in this boat. It sank.
All right, so we're going to move on to question and answer. All right, so the question and answer portion, the open panel link has been dropped a long time ago. You can come on the panel and ask a question. On a link, and so just kind of addressing some of the comments that have been down there, especially from Michael Israel, because you had a lot to say. So just, I mean, I don't know what your deal is, but you asked me a while back. Actually, you know what? I tell you what. Here's what we'll do. Here's what we'll do. We'll start with the most recent comments and maybe go back. So Ronald Finkley says, women are good creatures, but when they don't want to be rational to a man, that's where the problems come in. Stay faithful and we won't have a cycle being continued. All right. So here's just, well, I guess we'll all answer these questions. And I think with a boy, because I'm believing Ronald Finkley, you're responding to the story of Chad Wheeler. And it's like this. Abuse is abuse. I know we want to focus on why stuff is happening, a history lesson, which it sounds good, it briefs well, but we have to understand that we're getting away from the point that there's usually warning signs. And when you see the warning signs, you got to get out. That's it. Real simple. Does anybody else want to address Ronald Finkley's comment?
I don't know. It sounds loaded.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand what is the question in that. What is it? What is he trying to say?
I'm manosphere. I don't understand.
But maybe
I'm just looking at, he's saying that we don't want to be rational to a man, and that's where the problems come in. Stay faithful and we won't have a cycle being continued. There is nobody more faithful to the black man than the black woman. Honest. Honest.
I'm not gonna touch that.
Just stand on my Let me just get my manosphere flag with y'all. Already know
I mean, yesterday, quite seriously, I had a black woman in here blaming the mother for getting shot in the back of the head.
That actually
What
happened
more
today as well.
loyalty do you Negroes need?
That ain't got nothing to do
You
with
got mammies everywhere.
That's between y'all women. I'm
Wow.
manosphere. I ain't got nothing to do with that. That's between y'all.
Well, I mean, it basically happened today on this panel, where people were trying to figure out a history lesson as to why he would shoot the mom when he shot the mom, and that's the main thing to take away.
No.
That's what started the conversation as far as open season.
Well,
trying to figure out why. So you're saying that he shot her in the back of the head? He shot his mom because he's a man.
Well, actually, Brother Speak said, and I said, well, are we going to ask about the history of the young man when he was a younger man and what led him up to that point? And because somebody said, well, the uncle said that she was a good woman, but then we never asked the young man what about him or what happened between that two, because we didn't get his side, but all we just know what the uncle said, she's a good woman. And we know that in families that we do cover up dark behavior of abusive people and just say at funerals, hey, that was a good person, even though that we know that they were a piece of shit. So
now we're deflecting.
Oh, that was a flex. Let me put on my manosphere flag. Manosphere flag.
What could this woman have possibly done to deserve to get a bullet in the back of the head?
Let me put on my manosphere flag. You know me.
You ain't never took it off, DMT. Just be honest.
We don't.
Yeah,
well,
playing the what if game with the story, with the limited amount of information we have, all that does is dilute the fact that he shot his mom.
Well, y'all were just playing the what if game with daddy shot black man in the bedroom. That was
no. Everybody wasn't playing the what if game. We listened. We listened to the scenarios. We listened to the different scenarios, and he should be guilty, this and that. When the takeaway was, if you have children and they're grown, they need to be out the house, because if they're not obeying your authority, even when they're grown, problems are going to happen.
I'm gonna get me a manosphere flag. I swear I'm lying.
Get the Bearsfield shirt too.
I'm gonna go ahead.
And the face mask. She tried to put him out the house, and he shot her in the head. She put him out the house, and she told him to get a job, and he shot her.
How many black men? Now, question: how many black men knowingly get kicked out of their house, their girlfriend's house, and out there on the streets, versus one person being shot? I mean, if that's one thing that's happened, I'm probably going to say, like, hey, what did she do?
He was 21. She wasn't required to allow him to stay with her, right?
No, he's a grown man. She can kick him out.
Oh, okay. See, hey, I got nothing to say. Where was the father? That's what somebody in the manosphere will say. Where was the dad? Or where was the husband?
Yep, they would say that.
Yeah, let's say that. I'm pulling out my old manosphere book of stuff that we would ask. Where was the man? Where was her man?
She had 8 children. It appears they were from Africa.
8 children? Jesus Christ! Oh God!
What the? Okay,
They're from Africa. They came here from Africa. You know.
Where was?
Wait. Okay, so
that's
it was
no
an
excuse.
African.
Yeah.
Hey, that's African. Hey, that's an African. Hey, last time I was told, as a Black African American man, I have no culture, so that's an African issue. So
Okay,
hey,
so
in their eyes, hey, a woman is less than. So y'all acting the wrong
wait.
group of
Okay,
men.
so can I ask a question then? Why do we care? That's African. That's their
Yeah,
problem.
that's an African problem. I don't care about that. That's African.
Actually, it's an American problem because if you read the story, yes, we got to look at the details, okay?
Man, no speed.
Because anybody born in America is what?
American.
Right. So she had 8 children. She's been here for 25 years.
Mhm.
That boy is 22. He spent all his time on what soil?
America.
Yeah.
Wait. So she had
Okay,
8
but
kids
they
in
are
America. So
African
she had her
family.
8 kids in America.
Well, I know that he's an American. If I don't know
But
about the rest of the kids, but he's an American. So
God
this is
damn,
an American problem.
Okay, so it's an American problem. She got 8 kids. So and there was no man in sight. I doubt she was just asexually reproducing. I would have to ask.
The story didn't cover her.
The story didn't say whether or not she has a husband. Most of the time, their husband like comes back and forth from African countries. To
Okay,
Oh,
so again, that is a African family
uh-huh.
living in America.
Yep.
the child is
He's
American.
he's
though. He
an
picked up
African
American
culture.
ways. He
That's
picked up
African
American
culture.
ways, obviously.
No, that's that. Hey,
Mm,
I mean, it's not like he had a Fortnite rage. I mean, shit.
If he's been in this country all 22 years of his life, what African culture do he really know?
Exactly.
okay,
What?
but he was raised with his
You might
mother.
not want to do that, man.
I mean,
You got a lot
And
of
the reason that I can tell you, the reason I can tell you this
Excuse
is
me.
because, hold on, excuse me. The reason I can tell you this is because my mother is from Haiti. My grandfather is Nigerian. My mother grew up in America. She's Americanized, y'all.
okay,
Oh,
but
And because my mother has Haitian roots, guess what? Do you hear any Haiti in me?
What that mean?
pardon me.
I'm Americanized, y'all.
Excuse me.
No, you're not.
Excuse me.
You know,
Can I say one thing,
please,
just real quick?
please.
Culture has squat to do with trauma. This is a trauma issue, not a cultural thing. It doesn't matter if it's African, American, Haiti, Nigerian, Gamalian, or whatever the hell. It has nothing to do with the trauma that obviously was going on behind these closed doors.
Who is this guy? He's amazing.
So he was going through trauma because he was asked to get a job.
Wow, that's very traumatizing to the youth today. Because apparently, asking the youth today to get a job, I mean, you might end up dead.
Hold on.
Pretty
So wait.
much.
So hold on. So we had it where one household they shot the boyfriend. You have another household where seems like the daughter was rebellious and kept the boyfriend there, and after that jumped in the way of her dad. I guess whatever happened to the culture there, and seems like they got to fight, and he shot the boyfriend. Seems like there's a lot of culturally bad parenting going on in these households, or wherever it might be going on. But I mean, these kids these days and these guns, I don't know, man. I'm starting to see a cycle of some kind of trauma going on, like guns and parenting and kids and stuff. Like, what's up with these kids not minding, with these gun situations and stuff? That's true, and they're 2 adults. You show the white family, you show the black family. I'm just saying, hey, I'm just connecting the dots. Maybe I might need to call Biden for this. I'm just manosphere.
So the story that was provided to us said that the mom asked him to get a job. He got into a rage and shot her in the head. So where is the trauma on the surface level of that story?
I feel like there's not everything being told.
It's not going to be explained in the story because they're only giving you a snippet of the life. They're not digging into this person's personal background, like that they
So,
Thank you.
how can
what
you
they've grown
assume what
into.
happened then? You all are assuming something that's not
No,
there, that's not even
w-
been reported.
well,
So
But
if
listen.
you
that's
don't know
exactly
what
what the
happened,
report is doing, is
but
letting
the thing
everybody
about it is you
assume
can't sit up here
that
and say we
one
can't
time I
assume, but
asked
you
my
assuming.
child.
Taurus, you're a
I'm
man of
just saying,
spirit.
like, I asked my child one time and he shot me in the back of my head. He's got to explain to his creator now that I only asked one time. You can't assume anything.
Like,
The
Okay,
takeaway.
one thing that I I know for a fact is the mama is dead.
Right. I mean, are
Well,
you guys not
yeah,
aware
that's
that?
a fact. And
Are
it
you
was
guys
the
not aware
son that
that New
killed her.
York
That's
law
another
you can't have
fact.
a
We don't
gun?
have anything else outside of that, though.
I mean, obviously this kid is troubled. He doesn't. He has a gun. You cannot even carry a gun in New York. This kid is involved in some heinous activities outside of his home. He doesn't want to get a job.
whoa,
Obviously, this kid is
So
troubled.
we're assuming,
we're
right?
assuming.
Why does he have a gun? How does he have a gun?
Wait. We're
You
Okay.
can't
assuming.
have
In
a
New
gun
York, you're
in New
asking
York.
a
You
person,
cannot
how
have a
does a
gun.
person in New York have a gun?
I'm
But
sorry.
again, what
In other
planet
words,
are we
I guess
living on?
is it illegal to own a gun in New York? Is it
Yes,
illegal
it's
to
No,
own a
it's
illegal to
not.
own a
It's
gun in
not
New York.
illegal to own a
Yes,
gun in
it's
New York.
illegal. Why would this
No, it's not.
21-year-old kid have a
No, it's
gun in his
not. That's a
possession?
false. That's
All
false
right,
information.
It's not
let's
illegal, but that's aside from the
It is
point.
illegal. Who's saying it's not illegal? Who is that?
It's
Wait,
not.
commendable K, can you
Neophyte,
look and see
Neo.
what the open
yeah.
carry and laws are in
I
New
live in
York?
New York. I live in New
He,
York. It's illegal.
Right.
no,
To open carry, but you can also conceal carry.
You
you can have
cannot
it.
carry a
Okay,
gun in New York.
okay,
You
she
can
lives there. She
conceal.
lives there. She lives there.
Okay.
I understand, and I'm studying gun advocacy so that
I
I
only
can
teach
carry.
classes. I only
So
teach classes on
it,
gun.
I'm
it's not
just saying.
it's not open carry, but you can still conceal carry. So if he
Thank
had
you.
a firearm license, he could own the
You
firearm.
cannot have a gun. He lived in New York City. I don't know if you're talking about New York State. He lived in New York City. You cannot have a gun in New York. Carry a gun. You cannot have one. And you can
You
try
can
to apply
open
for it.
carry a rifle
Can I
or
finish,
long
sir?
gun
Sir,
in
can
New
I
York
finish?
City.
Sir, can I
Okay,
finish?
wait a minute. Didn't this happen in Manhattan?
Yes, it happened in Harlem, Manhattan. Yes, you cannot have a gun there. And you can
So
try to apply
according
for one. You're not going to get one. And I know a 22-year-old boy did not have a gun permit
so
to
according
carry a
according to
gun.
Google, it's the same thing where open carrying a firearm is illegal everywhere in New York City for civilians. Outside the city, they can open carry. Uh,
Right.
Concealed carry permit holders must keep their weapons concealed.
You can also have it in your home if you have a certain type of sidearm or handgun. You
You're
can
not
have
going
that
to
in
get
your
a
home.
gun permit. You can only have a gun if you have a gun permit, and you're not going
Listen,
to get one.
listen. I'm trying to tell you right now.
These
And I
are
know
not
plenty of people.
facts.
I'm trying to tell you right now.
Okay.
I know plenty of
I've been living
people.
in New York
I've
all the
been and I've
time.
been
I've
living up
been in law
north, and I've been
enforcement.
living
I
up
know
there
what I'm
way
talking about.
longer. And I can tell you,
Hold on, sweet lady, you're in law enforcement.
Yeah, I've been involved in law enforcement, not
When you
like
say involved,
on the
like were
legal
you a
side,
police officer or just like a secretary?
like on the
and
attorney side, like
I'm telling you, I've been
lawyer
involved
side.
with law
Oh,
enforcement.
okay. Well, that trumps you, BMT, whatever the
How does
hell
that
you
trump
talking
me? How does
about.
that trump me? And I teach the class.
Didn't you just Google?
How does that trump the teacher? How does that trump the
Okay.
teacher?
Because
Anyway,
she deals in the law enforcement side of it, on the attorney side. I mean, you
Okay,
can't get
okay.
much higher than that.
Yes,
Let it go.
the teacher. I forgot manosphere. So no matter what, everybody's gonna trump me on this panel. So go ahead. You
Why?
know what?
Why?
I don't know why I teach gun safety courses. Shit. Of course.
remember, you're there.
Manosphere.
Your opinion not matter.
Are the
You
safety
know that.
courses in New York?
I'm sorry.
I was asking if the gun safety courses were in the state of New York.
Yeah, in the state of New York, well, it's different in New York as opposed to New York City, like the actual city.
I'm asking if the like whoever's teaching the gun safety courses were they in the state of New York or in New York City?
Yes, New York.
No. So
No,
sweet lady,
he's asking. He
BMT.
asking BMT. BMT, were you teaching the gun safety courses in the state of New York? That is the question.
No, I teach it down south where I am located right now. But actually, it actually covers the states. It's a national course for you to conceal carry, and we tell them the rules of certain states. So literally, if somebody wanted to have a handgun, they would have to get that registered with the police department. And not only that, It's in the home. It's in the home. Versus if somebody has a handgun and they got it in the back of their trunk, in like let's say where the tire is at or something like that. It's not in the wrong. It's not in the
So
wrong.
would you say that you know just as much, if not more, as a person who would teach the gun owner courses in New York City?
Yes, yes, I do. I do because I've been teaching the National Guard in New York, and I've been teaching police who came down here to the Carolinas
Police and
from New
National
York.
Guard.
So I think I would know more than the
What I
person
am
that
saying
sits
is
behind the
that you
desk.
can apply.
Oh,
You can apply for a gun permit in New York City. You can, but the chance of you getting one is slim to none. And what I'm saying is
Since
that
when?
But
what since
but
when? Since
really,
forever, sir. Since forever, we have strict gun
Since
laws in New
forever.
York
How are
City,
white people getting it? You tell me now. How are white people getting it right now? How are they
I,
getting it?
sir.
Did you not
But
know
I'm
that
not
gun?
gonna
Did you not
go
know
through this.
guns?
okay. What is the percentage of white people in New York
He
City,
doesn't know.
PMT,
So
that
hold on.
have gun
So wait,
permits?
wait. So you're saying? No, let's hit that thing. So you're
I mean,
saying?
PMT, you are just pulling shit out your ass.
Let me take.
Let the
No,
Wait
young
a
lady
minute.
speak.
no, but she tried it with
I don't
me,
want
and
to play the
I can
clown
go.
music. No, one at a time. I don't want to play the clown music. One at a time. One at a time.
So we're not going to pretend that since this pandemic, that gun ownership has not skyrocketed, even with all these riots and all these instances of that have been going on in New York. You don't think people haven't been buying firearms? You don't think you don't? And that's literally that was being shown on a statistical level by the FBI that gun ownership in the Northeast has skyrocketed. So
In the
where are these
Northeast, we're
guns
talking
going?
about New York City right now. We're not
Yes.
talking about the
Right.
Northeast.
You're
We're
being
talking about
vague,
New York
and the
City.
young
Okay.
lady is
Okay.
right there, and she's trying to tell you what the
Yeah,
experience, what she
let
has
me
experienced
let me ask her.
professionally on the attorney side, on the lawmaking side.
So
She
let me ask. So let's ask her a
but
question, Wendy.
that's irrelevant to the fact that he bought an illegal gun and shot someone
Right,
with
that's
an
just the point. The
illegal
point is
gun.
that he
right.
So
owns
That's the
one.
point.
I don't
That's the
get
point
why
she
are we
was trying to.
arguing over the
Well,
fact
If
that
y'all would let
he
her
may have
finish,
even stole a gun
you
and
all will
shot
not
somebody.
let the
He
young
bought
lady
a
finish.
I didn't know long by. I
but
didn't know
we're
people.
okay. I'll
Uh,
shut up.
Can you guys let her finish, please?
yep.
Sweet lady, please continue to educate us, sis.
Being educated.
No, I mean the whole point of the matter is that this boy, 22-year-old, 21-year-old, did not have a legal gun permit to carry this gun. Obviously, he was involved in some other activities that he felt the need to carry a gun that he was able to use over his mom. That's my point. You guys are trying to say that something his mom did or whatever, whatever. I don't think so. This boy is obviously a bad kid. He, like a lot of kids, come from other countries, African countries, whatever country, Jamaica, whatever. They get involved in the culture, and they participate in gangs just like anybody else. So I don't know why you guys are acting as though it has to be the mom that did something. He obviously was a troubled kid in the first place. That was my
Thank,
point
nobody
in the beginning. I don't
thank
want to
you, New
argue
York.
about
nobody
Thank you,
said
New
gun
that
York.
laws
mom did
because
anything.
Yeah, yeah.
PMT doesn't know what he's
Thank.
talking
I
about.
don't
Thank you,
understand
sweet
this
lady.
double
Thank
I
you.
standard.
can't wait. I
I,
can't
I,
wait till I do
I'm
my
really not
part
understanding this
on this
double
one.
standard that we're really dealing with, that we're talking about here. Where on one case we got a bad kid that had an illegal gun that shot his mom, and on the other hand, there was a white mom that took her child to kill two protesters with his rifle,
Mm, mm. I
traveling
like.
Are
across
we
state
deflecting to another
lines.
story?
But yet, but I'm just saying the comparison and then the double standard that is clearly not being addressed here
What story?
is
What
baffling to
story is
me. I
that?
don't get it.
Well,
What
technically,
story is that? You
You,
said someone's
well,
mom.
that's actually Kyle. That's actually Kyle, and actually that actually does bring up a valid point that literally we have seen more people show up with more guns since the pandemic, and openly show force. Like that's literally what people been doing this whole. I don't know why people think that people don't have guns more than ever illegally, or literally haven't been like. That's actually the goal to snap is to get ammo. I'm not sure. Probably the lawyer. She probably knew that already. Well, that people have been buying and getting ammo and stocking it. Well, maybe they're just doing that for a hobby. But literally, I mean, I guess they were going to ignore that people aren't getting ammunition now or like getting guns. So who knows? They're probably just doing it for a hobby. You know.
For the
But
last
we're
four
Hey,
talking
years,
about
for the last 4 years,
Manhattan. We're not talking about just people in
that is
general. We're
in
talking
Manhattan.
about Manhattan.
That is in
But
for the
we
Manhattan.
last
want to
uh,
four
we want to
years in
welcome the new guests.
Manhattan, The actual gun ownership, legal gun ownership for black people in Manhattan has actually grown up for the last 4 to 5 years.
Oh, okay. Let's welcome the new person to the panel.
Yeah.
I see we have Q Savage has joined the panel. Welcome, brother. Q Savage?
He or she is on mute.
Okay.
4 to 5 years.
Oh, okay. Let's welcome the new person to the panel.
All right, so Q Savage, mute your YouTube, and then after you mute your YouTube, when you come on StreamYard, you'll be able to hear us. So mute your YouTube right quick. I'm bringing you back up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
4 to 5 years.
Oh, okay. Let's welcome the new person to the panel.
All right, so Q Savage, mute your YouTube. Oh God.
So,
all right,
so the thing about I want to go ahead. Go ahead, CK.
But yeah, I mean, whoever wanted to go can.
I was gonna say, like, people, like, whenever it comes to killing, people look at different methods of how people kill. Was it a strangle? Was it a knife? Or was it a gun? Most of the time, when people look at it, when it's a gun, that's an execution. That means something had to happen to trigger to go get a gun, to actually go pull it, and literally to have to go do it like that, especially in a home. You gotta actually ask what was the intent on behind pulling the
No,
trigger.
you're saying that wrong.
Literally,
It's
I just
actually
said
a knife. A knife is more personal, and like
I
that's
didn't.
something that's more
I
personal.
literally
Like,
said
oh,
what was the
you did
intent. I
something
didn't.
to me, not the gun.
Okay,
It's the
okay.
knife.
Nobody. Oh my God, I think this woman hear me. Okay, so literally, it's either going to be a strangle, a knife, or a gun. He used a gun. So we're asking where was his mindset at for that.
No, you're saying that wrong.
Okay, you said let me read it. Okay, so he shot the woman. And good look, I'm not for nobody being shot with no gun. Literally, we got enough stuff going on now with paperwork with guns now. It's already hard enough. So I'm pretty sure this is gonna get harder for gun owners. But in the stance, I'm now gonna overlook what literally drove that young man to doing that, to actually assaulting or killing that woman. Well, she's dead. So granted, I think like I said, I agree with Taurus when he said there was something behind closed doors that was going on. Now, I'm not gonna say there aren't evil people that literally, but to make that man snap off and just say, hey, you know what, get a job, and now I'm just gonna go get a gun and boom. Like I'm not trying to co-sign that, but I'm saying what happened to trigger that. But I just did another video.
It don't matter.
Okay. You know what's crazy?
Hold on, wait a minute.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy about that, Faith? You know what's crazy about that, Faith? I did a video with a mother who came home and she was cursing out her daughter, and they were talking about sex with the boyfriend. And then the woman and the daughter started fighting and beating the crap out of each other. I did that video on my live. I mean, that was crazy. But literally the whole time that daughter was calling the mother was calling the daughter a up and down B words and all kinds of stuff and all kind of holes and stuff. Yet people gonna still look at it and say, yo, what was really going on behind that closed doors for that? You know,
I would have beat her ass.
Oh no, the mother tried. The mother did try. See, I'm saying I know you would have tried to beat her ass. See, I know that's what something you would have done. You know what I'm saying? But I always find
right because she being disrespectful.
Oh, but then that protection just went out the window about women.
But hold on a second. See, we giving too much power to these children right now. Yeah. I'm gonna say it. We do.
Wait.
We do this all up and down in the black community.
What happened to
We
protection?
sit up. No. If my daughter calling me out my name, disrespecting me in my house, I'm gonna put my foot in that ass. Okay? And then if she thinks she grown after that, she got to get the fuck out my house.
So hold on. But y'all were just not too long ago, and let me know if I heard that, brother speak, and Taurus and Sweet Lady. All of y'all were just talking about women are fearing for their lives about protection and abuse. But now y'all, I'm hearing it where the mother has no problem putting her hands on. Mind you, I said this about women. They can't take the man, but they'll take something that they can possibly take down, and also that will be a child. So she has no problem putting her foot in that daughter's ass and then sending
Yes,
her.
because that is
Okay.
a child. Let me
Oh,
explain something to you.
okay.
If your child knuckles up at you and tell you what they gonna do and what they ain't gonna do in your house, and you pay majority of the bills, you provide they everything, you want to sit up here and tell me about protecting the child, but you got the nerve to knuckle up at me in my house and I'm taking care of you. You're damn right. That ain't
Okay.
got nothing to do with not protecting the child or anything that you're talking about. That is a
So
disrespectful child.
Okay,
okay.
so if you got that disrespectful child, what's stopping that disrespectful child from doing exactly what the other one did and grabbing a gun and taking care of business?
Thank you, Taurus.
That's what we're saying. I mean, I don't know what point you're trying to make. They're disrespectful. Ain't
No, but
nothing stopping them from
she
doing it.
missed it.
That's
She
the
missed
reason
it.
why she should have kicked them out a long time ago.
She
Right, and
missed
throw
it.
them away.
Well, I would.
She missed
Yeah,
it.
she
She
should have
missed
threw him
it.
away. Yeah, I will agree with that. I'm just the
Sis,
thing that bothers me is
don't
that
affect us,
he
man.
shot her in the back of the head, execution style.
That's it. Thank you. That's an
I mean,
execution.
the
That's
fact
an
that he
execution.
did it that way, it wasn't like they had a struggle and he got the gun and shot her accidentally, or just they got into an argument, and just pulled the gun out and just shot her. He shot her in the back of the head.
Exactly.
He
Somebody
couldn't.
said
He couldn't
That
look at her
that is
face.
that
What's the resentment
that
there?
that
a back
that
of the
Right.
headshot. That's
that
That
right
that
there is
is the
cold blooded.
definition of premeditated.
that a
He
back of the
been
headshot. That's execution. And literally,
yeah.
that means you had some emotion tied to that, but you could not look that person in the face when you did it. You
I
had
don't care what his emotion was.
I
what
think you
so we're
do
not
need
going
to.
to look at the emotion.
No, but the law does. The law says that qualifies as premeditation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you
He
Man, this
still
is the
he still should be thrown away. Just to kind of answer Michael Israel's question from
oh,
earlier. So he was asking, would I save my brother if my brother was drowning? Well, this is the area we were talking about throwing people away who are toxic. Exactly what we were talking about right now with him shooting the mom in the back of the head. People got to be thrown away. And you don't have to wait to see a big sign like someone shooting someone in the back of the head to know you need to cut folks off. So hopefully, Michael, that answered your question as far as would I throw my brother away? Yeah, I throw him away if he's toxic, and I don't have an obligation to anyone except for children and significant other. So if I throw someone away or choose to do charity and help someone out, that's my choice. But there's no obligation. Hopefully, I answered your question from earlier.
Yeah, I had to
And
throw my brother away a bunch of times, so that's not a problem. I think, but
just
I think,
striking
like I
record.
said,
are we going past 3 hours or cutting off at 3 hours? If we're
We,
stopping at
we're,
3
we're,
hours.
we're cutting off at 3 hours, so we probably need to go ahead and start wrapping up.
All right, so we'll go into the cleansing out your palate. A conclusion. We can stop fighting. Yes, this is a show, even though it kind of got crazy. And so, Michael Israel, you can grab the link and come up and use your own voice and ask whatever you want to ask, or you can stay in the peanut gallery and do that. So, do we want to start with Nasty Man 2021 and then go clockwise as far as conclusions?
Yeah, that's fine. In conclusion, the manosphere has won tonight. We actually proved our point and literally actually got them to agree. And literally, they even said, and we can definitely roll it back, which I definitely will be doing a talk about this. That literally, they said it does not matter. We even heard where they said out their mouth on this panel. One of the co-hosts said that as the mother, if the child were to speak back to me, I would put my foot in their ass and literally put my hands on them. which I mean, literally, I don't know what kind of psychological damage that would do, but literally, hey, some kids, they take it overboard where they might go get a gun or stab you, or probably, harm that individual or other people. So we definitely know there is some type of abuse going on in these homes, and that hey, if the daddy's not there, which this woman has 8 kids, so we definitely know there are some problems going on in there. But I don't know one mother or one single parent that could deal with 8 children and not tell me there's not some type of mental instability going on in there. That's something that we can't ignore when looking at those factors. So the fact that hey, that happened, there's no man. And also that, hey, y'all fellas, y'all can't control these women with the wallet. And like we just proven that, hey, these black women may be afraid of a group of black men, but definitely Chad is not afraid of them to put his hands on them. So he's definitely not afraid to lay down the law. The woman, I'm glad she survived, that Chad whooping. I'm glad she survived. Maybe that will tell other women that, hey, don't think that, hey, you may say the black man bad, but don't think that the other races of men do not mind putting their hands on you. So, hey, it is what it is. Any man or woman, keep your hands to yourself, or hey, don't act stupid and think that, hey, just because you say somebody to somebody, don't think that the other person is going to act, just going to use their words. They might put their hands on you. You know what I'm saying? That's stupid. Also, for people that think that, well, I know that they know the law, you might want to actually go check the gun laws in your state and actually check the castle doctrine. Find out a lot of y'all don't know how castle doctrine actually works. If you identify a target in
10
your home,
seconds.
thank you. You identify a target in your home and you don't call the police and you shoot them, your ass is going to jail. You deserve to sit in jail. Thank you. And I'm glad the Manosphere won tonight on the faith.
Time out. Let's get to the next person.
Manosphere for life.
Okay, I'm gonna keep it really short, not gonna drag it on like BMT. Anyway,
Manosphere.
as usual, the black manosphere has lost this discussion, just as they are lost in life. Until they decide to stop, blaming women for their problems and take responsibilities for their actions, or should I say inactions, they will continue to be in the space that they are in. You guys really need to step it up, protect the women. You probably won't want to protect until it happens to someone in your family. At that point, it'll be too late. Protect the women, because it's not just, a random woman. It's your family members as well, your daughters, your sisters, your moms. You guys keep on just like as CK say, comparing apples to oranges. We're talking about random people, randomly. A woman should be able to walk down the street and not fear being attacked because she rejects the advances of a man. So you guys really think about that and stop blaming women for your problems, because if you don't, you're going to continue to have the same problems. Okay.
Neo.
All right. Short and sweet is how we're going to keep it, right? All right. I want to just shed some light on the double standard that I feel is being ignored by what I would like to call what's a good word for it? Let's use a couple of words here. See if I can mix things up a bit. The divestment sphere, Stockholm syndrome fetishism. Okay. Now, there's a double standard here. Black people are the only ones worried about throwing people away or putting them in jail and whatnot. While on the other side, there's a special jail in Colorado where white people like to store their very, very special criminals. The ones that are extra special, extra dark, extra evil, where they can go and interview them and make documentaries. But yet black people are worried about throwing ourselves away. This is very interesting. Okay, so now let's work on this double standard thing and actually step back and look at the fact that we want protection from black men, but we want to divest from black men. And we're using a negative word like divestment in a positive fashion. It don't match. I'm sorry. It's just not. And just for the record, I do not identify with the quote unquote manosphere because I believe that that's hogwash too.
Mm.
Now, on that note, I digress.
Brother, speak.
Yeah, okay. So as far as throwing people away, I do think we as black people tend to we only throw away the people that we don't like, we don't desire, or we don't value. Um, the ones that we should not throw away, we throw them away the fastest. And so when they turn on you, now you want to call them coons, sellouts, bed witches, and all kinds of names. But you have to remember, you threw them away first. If you're going to throw somebody, now to a family member, if you're going to throw them away, okay, at least if you want your kids to be able to come take care of you when you get older, you better give them some skills, knowledge, and a way to survive in this world first before you think about throwing them away at 18 because they becoming a nuisance to you. Because if you just letting them sit there, you ain't teaching them nothing, you ain't giving them no knowledge, you just letting them fend for themselves, you might get a bullet in the back of your head. And because you're trying to tell them to go be a man when you never taught them how to be a man or had a man around, that usually ends with somebody getting a bullet in the back of their head. Now, not saying that's right, but again, if you're gonna throw somebody away, throw them away with some knowledge and skills so they can fend for themselves, so they'll come back and take care of you when you get older. Now, as far as this white dude, it is what it is. The dude thought he could beat her up. I don't know why. Maybe they got into an argument, and I don't know. All I know is let's be careful who you think that you're talking to, because money don't mean shit. A lot of abuse happens. And to the other thing, um, black men do tolerate more from black women than other races of men. I know that it seems like we don't, but yes, we do. Just because there's a bunch of yahoos on YouTube talking about we don't like black women, blah blah blah. There are a lot more black men who would defend black women than not. There's still black men. Even I know some black men personally that I go on their panels. That black woman could be dead wrong, and he's still going to defend her because he believes in protecting all black women, even the ones that are detriment to the race. As far as the protection piece, I'm going to say this. If you want black men to protect you, if you want to feel safe around black men, support the black men that are trying to protect you. Support the black man who wants to go fight these other ones. Support them. Don't be supporting, don't be giving your lives to these ain't shit motherfuckers, having babies with them. And so when they leaving you with these kids, now you're stressed out, you're treating the kids badly, and that's what usually happens. Why how you have these animals being raised, because nobody tried to make them human. Nobody tried to do anything. Nobody tried to help the mother when she was stressed out with these kids. Nobody wanted to help the father try to be in these kids' lives. So now you got these animals running around beating up women. You got little girls stealing uh, knives at Walmart, trying to fight other girls, stabbing them. So you just have a bunch of out of control kids out here, and we're still worried about protection and submission when we got out of control kids out here, and we need to step up as a community. Stop blaming men, stop blaming women, look at ourselves, and try to
10 seconds.
I'm done, Faith, I'm done. Go, Manosphere.
All right, Q Savage.
Hey, good morning, panel. I'm sorry I came in a little bit late, so I did catch whatever y'all did say. And all that I say about that is that nobody should be hitting on nobody, a man or a woman or a man, for the simple fact is that if somebody accidentally kills somebody, at the end of the day, the powers that be don't care. Somebody going to jail. So to avoid all that, just don't put your hands on nobody. And as about the domestic violence situation with that football player. I don't know what on that house, and I don't know what transpired towards that, and I don't agree with it. But I mean, most of the time, you really see stories like that. With a white guy that gets so much public news beating on a woman like that, you really see it. So, I mean, it's kind of refreshing for the fact that at least you know it still goes along, and you got whatever people that believe that they don't do nothing, it's still there. And matter of fact, they put your hands on your own more and very proud of it, especially the ones from the Appalachians, from rednecks. They have no problem putting their hands on you. And as for the manosphere, I mean, honestly, it's I mean, my view has been dead quite some time because it's mostly the same reaction talking points that's already been addressed and stuff like that. And there's a whole lot of dudes that still live with their moms. I mean, it is what it is. So, I mean, if it ain't you, don't worry about it. So, as for the community, I mean, these kids out here in trouble. I mean, just for the simple fact is that the young boys running here on all emotion. Half the girls is masculine, and it's just right. And do I expect us to come together as a whole, as one big community, and do one big effort all around? No, I don't believe that. Individually, in your house, yeah, but as a whole, no. And that's all I gotta say.
Hey, Faith, you want to shout out Ronald Finkley?
Yes, thank you, Ronald Finkley, for the $2 super chat. He says, "Faith, thank you."
All right, yeah, put that back up there. All right, thank everybody for coming on up. Really appreciate it. This was very interesting, very entertaining, and please come again. All right, so bam, bam, bam. All right, so you guys see it. First and foremost, before I talk to my conclusion, you guys see, contribute to the channel. Don't be like that. We've almost been on here 3 hours. Contribute through Cash App and Super Chat. Also, channel membership. Definitely support, because Faith gives you all this stuff, and myself give you all this stuff every night now. So please contribute. Please subscribe. Click the bell. Ding the dong. Bing the bong. All that great stuff if you hadn't had a chance to do it. So I got to do it, unfortunately, because it was crazy tonight. All right. And of course, it is fair use music, so no one worry. Man, today was crazy.
It was insane. I'm glad that you played the clown music. So, guys, whenever we have clown talk on the panel, from now on, we're going to play the clown music at the end of the show.
Okay, at the end of the show, yeah. It was a lot. You know what? I think tomorrow's got to be another clown talk. I might have to play the entire stream. It was that bad. It was really bad. So we'll save the going through of the clown talk for tomorrow. But so throwing away the undesirables because they are an anchor to your ship. Look, I got it. We want to save everyone, but can you really? Because when it boils down to it, men and women have perished trying to carry someone to their destiny, carry someone to their finish line. We're not talking about we're not talking about children. We're talking about adults that should be kicked out. Now, if you don't want to kick them out and they're contributing to your household, outstanding. But we're focusing on those that are bad, which was all the stories that we covered and talked about. These were adults who were bad. And deflecting and trying to do the struggle Olympics, all we do is dilute the conversation and the takeaway that someone who's taking notes is taking, in that if these grown kids are in your house and they're being offensive to you, you got to throw them away. And another statement was, people were never taught to be a man. You could never be taught to be a man for whatever reason. You know, you went to school, all your teachers were women, went to church, all the church people were women, all the people in your family were women, and women everywhere. It was women everywhere. But we're not talking about someone being a man. We're talking about committing a crime. People are committing crimes, and there's more than likely there's people who are friends and family who see the warning signs and say nothing but make excuses. So the takeaway is, if someone is exhibiting behavior or they have mental issues, we got to get them professional help. And we got to stop making excuses because we want to all stay together, all come together. Bad apples spoil the bunch. And then just the idea that there's people who are against divesting or they are anti-divestment. That's the wrong message, because there are people getting hit upside the head with skateboards and nobody's recording it. Most of the stuff that goes viral is stuff that is recorded by video or people call the police. If you grew up in the same kind of neighborhood I did, I know, Faith, you did, the thought of snitches get stitches, and the fact that, you know, someone will say, well, if you recorded it, that's another thing of snitching. We as a community keep secrets to the point where there's a lot of stuff happening that we don't know about. And to play the what if game and the semantics and what if this and what if that, and, you know, struggle Olympics where like, I hear what you're saying, you black women are afraid, but us black men getting it too. No. We got to deal with one issue at a time. So if the subject is a possible war, lean into it and come with solutions on how to protect oneself. Not, yeah, but my struggle because of my struggle. And then the idea of don't throw ourselves away. We can't throw ourselves away. We're not, you know, the only obligation you have is to your children and significant other. So thinking that we all are family and that everyone is responsible for everyone else. No. If you are not trying to improve your community, you're just as bad as the person who is ruining it, because being passive is just as bad as putting the graffiti up, robbing people, and doing different things. Telling people there is not a war and justifying it with the struggle Olympics. We got to stop the struggle Olympics. We got to stop the clown talk, because all we're doing is deflecting to this story and that story. We went a whole hour all over the place. And I mean, for what? What exactly were some takeaways? Not many takeaways after like the hour and 30-minute mark, because we were just all over the place. It was entertaining though. So definitely subscribe to Faith's channel membership, do the super chat, do the Cash App, because, you know, just tip for all of the great deflecting and goalpost moving that you saw that can help you with your goalpost moving and deflection game. So the bunch of yahoos affluence other yahoos, and people are not checking others on panels enough. So Faith mentioned that a certain somebody will say something on their channel, then go to another channel like Teapot and do the reverse course. Instead of saying that doesn't take place, just say that you'll do a better job of not doing that, because it's happening. It's happening. If you don't jump in and stop a crime, that criminal becomes a cancer. And the larger the cancer gets, it's going to spread, and you're going to lose not just a limb, but your whole community. Because see, if someone, let's say, beats up a woman and you're there and you're like, well, I'm not going to jump in because it's not my woman, I'm not getting any pussy. What ends up happening is that now becomes the standard, and other people are going to want to do the same thing because they think that the men who are supposed to be leaders are sitting back not doing anything. So you have to jump in and stop a crime, or you'll lose your community. And last, we can support groups all day. Those groups clock out eventually. All the groups that are out there doing the good work, we should support them. Yes, that's awesome. But we have to understand that those groups weren't out there when the woman was hit upside the head with a skateboard. Those groups weren't out there when the 21 men in Crown Heights stomped on the girl in broad daylight. Those groups weren't out there when they were trying to play Pac-Man with the black woman's face. And those groups weren't out there when the black woman or black girl was picked up and thrown in the dumpster. So those groups are great, They're great for cleaning up graffiti and replacing stuff. But when it boils down to it, if a woman is walking down the street and sees a group of men, she has to either chance it and possibly be accosted. They may put their hands on her and sexually assault her, touching her breasts and butt, or they may say something that's sexually harassing, or maybe they let her go, or maybe she crosses the street, or maybe she crosses the street and they follow them. See, we as men, we don't have to deal with stuff like that because most men aren't going to come at us unless they're trying to do something, but we can physically protect ourselves. The women cannot. So when they tell us their plight, we should support them, because if you're not supporting them, you're against them. It's either left or right. There is no in between. And with that, that's my final thought.
All right. Well, CK, you did the final thought for the both of us. So, hey, ditto.
Well, now I want to say one thing. So Faith, I got a bone to pick with you. And the bone that I got to pick with you is I would like to trade you subscribers, because I don't want no problems on my channel. So
Hold on a second. Wait a minute. If they come over there and they on your channel, you keep them over there. That's more clown talk material for you. So no. Keep them over there.
I'll take Rare Gem, Reigning Woman, and give me Sweet Lady 095. I will.
No, you cannot have Sweet Lady. You cannot have Reigning Woman. You cannot have my subscribers.
Hold on.
You keep them clowns over there on your channel.
I'll trade you those. Here's who I'll give you. I'll give you really good substance. I'll give you Bokur. He was up here. He's balanced.
Hell no.
Also, I'll give you Michael Israel.
Hell no. Oh, hell no.
Hold up. I will give you a gift. And my gift to you is let me I tell you what, I will sacrifice and give you let's see, I saw a man here. I will sacrifice my entire channel and also give you Ronald Finkley. So those are really good trades. I'm over here tearing up because I don't want them to go, but I need.
Look, and Michael Israel down in my chat talking about he don't want Faith, hell no, but he here every goddamn night.
He can stay.
No, take him with you.
No. And you know what?
I wish this nigga would not come over here, but he's here every freaking night.
Okay.
Katie.
I think we're deflecting to the point where the trade is already made. I'll take Tyrone Church back. He can come with me, and I think that's a really good trade. I think I'm giving you a gift. I'm giving you. You know what?
Gift. I will trade you KK for Michael.
Okay, you take Michael. I'll take KK. KK, if you're listening, come on. All
right, Michael, get your ass on over there. Don't come back over here.
No. I already have KK. No, you have KK already. I'll take KK from you, and I'll give you Michael. I'll take KK.
No. I don't want Michael. I'm trying to get rid of Michael.
We've already agreed to this. Let's just end the stream. So, Reigning Woman, Rare Gem. I'll pull out some marshmallows and some coffee. I don't know what y'all like to drink, but. Boom! You guys are now.
No! Don't go over there. No, they're not going nowhere. No. Take Michael and go. I promise you.
You can come to the channel and visit, but you're now officially mine. We'll talk about jersey sizes. I just can't do it because we went through this whole broadcast. And it's just
look. You know what? Well, you know what I'll do? I'll give you 3 months of AdSense revenue if you would take Michael.
I don't want your money. I tell you what, I will give you my cash app for an entire So Ronald Finkley said he's already on Faith's channel, so he's already in line. So we good. We good.
No, I
Okay, I'll
love
tell you what.
Ronald. I love Ronald.
I'll take Brother Speak as well. That way he can't say that I'm taking just women. I'll take Brother Speak. So that's cool. So now we Gucci.
But you know what? I actually like Bro Speak though. Now what I do is I'll take Bro Speak if you take Michael.
See,
I'll take anybody if you would take Michael.
You know what? Don't worry about Christmas this year. No Christmas cards for you. Calling it early. You done messed up Christmas. You're getting a lump of coal. All right, y'all. We're just messing with y'all, just teasing y'all. But
no, I appreciate you, Michael. Thanks for coming through.
Now, see, Raiden Woomband's trying to level up, so you can keep her. She's trying to level up. We some of the custom handbag.
See, Raiden Woman, you gonna turn your back on me for a handbag? Look at y'all. Look at my subscribers down here.
I know.
I'm so proud of y'all. I'm so proud of y'all. That's what I'm talking about.
But we're just messing with y'all, just trying to make it light at the end of the stream. To me, it was definitely interesting. I'm glad that nobody threatened each other and no one cussed each other out. So I think it's possible to have constructive fuckery and dysfunction, and we all walk away happy. So
you know what? And also shout out to Sweet Lady, because I wanted to mention this. Usually when women jump on the panel, they leave me up here by myself to fight with you men folks. So shout out to Sweet Lady for staying to the end. You are the real MVP and a real trooper. I had to mention that.
Yeah, I think I'll take her over Raiden Woomband because Raiden Woomband wants a custom.
You are not going to take Sweet Lady.
She was pretty cool.
Yeah, she was. Like I said, I had to give her props, because usually when the women come on the panel, I ain't gonna mention no names. All of a sudden, the men start attacking me, and all of a sudden, I'm by myself. Y'all heifers always leave me by myself. I'm just saying.
So Sweet Lady says, yes, I'm staying. No, you going. Nah, but we're just messing with y'all. But it was a really great show. So Faith, if you want to end it and send us on home. And we will do this again tomorrow night.
Absolutely.
I'll also plug you and Love Wisdom have something this weekend. If you could tell us the day and time, if you figure that out. And
tomorrow at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and I believe 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Love Wisdom and I will be doing part 2 of our Level Up talk with the ladies, and how you are the best pick me that you can be. And when we say pick me, we mean that you pick you first. So stay tuned, and we got a lot of gems that we have to drop to you on tomorrow's video. You guys will definitely be entertained and definitely be surprised.
So tomorrow, as in Friday, January 20th.
Oh, I'm sorry. Saturday. I'm sorry. Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, Saturday. 8, I believe it's 9 p.m. Eastern Time.
Okay. Yeah, Michael, I don't have a YouTube channel. Sorry. So yeah, go ahead and send us home. Go ahead and send us home, Faith. Go ahead and send us home. I guess that's pretty much all we have. It was like, at least at one point it was 30 people in the box. So it's pretty cool when everybody did the thumbs up, so we didn't have to fuss at them. So it's pretty cool.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I'll give you the final word. And no, I'm just joking. My YouTube channel is Commendable K. So
no, I mean, I think that you said it all tonight. Everything that you stated, I completely agree with it. And right now, I just want to say thank you to everybody that tuned in. I know it's late on the East Coast, especially for a lot of you guys, but you came in and supported anyway. You guys are the real MVPs. I love you. I value you. And I will see you again tomorrow. Until then, I have to say peace.